Good rising, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee Talk with Karen B. It is so good to see you all. Please excuse me while I still do stuff to my face. Oh, a bunch of you here already. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. Over there on Rockfin, I see so far only Scott Hunter. Good rising, Scott on Rockfin. And then on Rumble, I see Matrix 6, Chemtrail Cowboy 2000, Good Rising, and then on YouTube, there's a whole bunch of people. I Am Lion's Cat, Boston Ray, Anson Howard, Billingtano, Nathan Reed, Wide Awake. Oh, Wide Awake. Hi, it's good to see you. Oh, I see you in chat a few times now. That's pretty cool. Wide Awake is a cool channel. He's got great observational videos. Just in case you don't live by the ocean, like I don't, and you want to look at footage of things that happen on the water, you want to study it for your own knowing and well-being, that's a great channel to go check out. YouTube wants me to insert an ad right here. I don't want to. I mean, I don't care that much about your stupid ad money, YouTube. Get. Yeah, I just clear my throat. I wasn't muted. I'm sorry. Sue Finelli, Spicy Sarah, Jenny G. Hi, ladies. Truth and Justice. Alpine Endeavor. Yeah, so did you guys watch that debate? I know I have it on screen right here. I was watching it like in chunks because I can't just sit there and, you know, watch it all in one fell swoop because that's just too much for me, you know. But I was watching it because I heard that Dean Odell, or not Dean Odell, the other dude, Patrick Locke, that he was talking shit about Mark Sargent. Bro, why do people always want to talk shit about Mark? I'm pretty glad I'm glad that I didn't go, cause especially cause that coward called the police. You know, called the police on people. From what I understand, I wasn't there. I'd love to hear from somebody who was there. Nathan Reed, good to see you. Andrew Dominic, what's up? Vitra, Gregory Top, Zulu One, Benny Boy, MFT. That was a mouthful. Russian guy truth though. The unshakable belief that carbon dioxide emissions are heating up the Earth's atmosphere to a catastrophic degree has been afforded the status of religious dogma. Yeah. He called the 5-0. Yeah. Soaking his hands in antiseptic disinfectant. Is McToon was there? You know what? Because I saw that clip. David, I don't know if you're listening. I need to open my phone lines because just in case somebody wants to call in and talk about it, because oh my gosh. I'm so glad I didn't go. That's all I gotta say is I'm glad I didn't go. Because I can't freaking stand those people. I mean, I'd have to go through like some sort of like spiritual bleaching after being in the same room as those people, I think. Maybe that's what David has to go through. That's how David's probably feeling.
Welcome to the conference center. You are a host.
All right. Just in case we do get calls, the phone lines are open. 848-222-2480. I'll call in if you want. Oh yeah, Sulu, and there were no brawls because Karen B wasn't there to Dude, seriously, I'm so glad I didn't go. I have to say it. I need to finish this so I can turn off this light. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Too much religious garbage. Yeah, I haven't got to where supposedly Greg Locke talks shit about Mark yet. I haven't got that far. But as you can see, it's like still early on. They're not even standing up yet. All I know is that when we were all at Cammie's house hanging out the other night, Saturday night, we had it on the big TVs, you know, when we were all hanging out there. And dude, it was just hard to watch. We just ended up just hanging out and talking to each other instead, right? Because who wants it? They're so hard to watch. Oh my gosh, I totally jacked up my eyeball. They're so hard to watch. I mean, and the ridiculous stuff that this Greg Locke dude was saying, like, clearly he did not look into it at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't do any research, and that's pretty obvious, because he was saying the most ridiculous, stupid shit. Like Flat Earth 101. Like, couldn't you have at least watched Flat Earth in 5 minutes by ODD, my dude? Like, you could tell he didn't even do that. I mean, and then supposedly he says that he loves his friends that are flat earthers. So, you know, he's going to give them a fair shake, but he doesn't fucking care enough to actually, you know, doesn't care enough to actually look at any information. And you can even tell, like, even this part right here, I kind of stopped right here because he's like, that Dean was saying something to him, and he's like, well, we can do this all day, or blah, 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 or something. But anyways, he says something to the effect of, well, we were done before I even started. Actually, let me just play it.
You're about to, but I know foolishness again. Has an opposing side. And if it does,
here, let me see if this
then how come you can't trust him, but now you can trust him? You see, you only trust people.
I already answered that question.
You only trust people that are on your side. You never trust anybody that has an opposing side.
Not true.
That 100% true.
I've listened to all kinds of people about this stuff. I've interviewed all kinds of people. I guarantee you I've done far more research than you have on this issue.
Oh, I guarantee you after this debate, I'll never research this foolishness again. I can promise you that right now.
Right here, it's like...
Well, see, that means you've already made up your mind.
I have made up my mind because I'm about to show you from the Bible God's made up his mind.
I love to see that.
You're about to.
Because I know you can't do it.
But you get to go first, so get your computer and get that thing hooked up because I got a lot of questions I could ask.
You know, like he says he's already made up his mind. And he's calling it crazy and foolishness. Like right off the bat, he's doing that whole ad hominem thing where he's discrediting it just by criticizing it without looking at any data. Like that is a classic troll move. Classic troll move. Alright, I'm almost done. I am done. Here we go. Ow. Oh, shit. Classic troll move. You know what I'm saying? There's David. Hey, what's up, David? Hello?
Karen.
Hey.
Good thing you weren't there. You would have literally started fights.
You know, I can't deny that, so I'm glad I didn't go. Especially after I heard who was there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh boy, I'm so glad.
The whole McToon thing. I swear to God, I need to go be cleansed somehow spiritually. It's insane.
I saw that clip you shared real quick before you start. With that clip you shared where you're talking to Dean and you're like, I don't even know. He's like, how, you were mentioning like somebody you met there was like so horrible, like creepy to meet. And I was like, who's he talking about? And then somebody said that McToon was there. I was like, oh, that had to be it.
So, every time I turned around, someone wanted to, shake my hand, take a selfie, and it's just so hard to talk to everybody. And literally, I'm walking out after the debate blew up, And the guy reaches out. He goes, "Hey, Dave," reaches out. I shake his hand, and I say, "Hey, what's your name?" And he looks at me and goes, "Really?" And I look at him in the face, and I don't quite recognize him. And he starts to put on his glasses, and I pull my hand away, and I go, "McToon?" I go, he's like, "Yeah, man." And he tries to hand me a paper with some graph on it or something about a debate. He goes, "This is what we're going to talk about when you debate me on Jaren's channel." I'm like, "I'm not debating you." So now me being like, all right, I need to take a picture of this and send it to Jaren, who's live streaming. And I was like, so I'm getting ready to take a selfie. And as I'm holding the phone up, he starts leaning over to me, and I look at him. I go, "Don't touch me."
Was he trying to get in a picture with you or something?
No, I was taking a selfie with the two of us.
Oh,
just
okay.
to send it to Jaren's show because I'm hey, you know what? I'll take one for the team. And I just looked at him. I was like, "Don't touch me."
Oh, that's so
Don't touch
funny.
me. Literally the you know what we talk about, different energy, high vibration, low vibration. It's not a theory. It's a real thing. And the difference between the two of us is shocking. It's just shocking. It's shocking. I can't even talk about it right now. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the debate. He literally starts off with behind the curve and how flat earthers won't even admit when they're wrong. And then he goes into that how we all believe the earth is rising up at 9.8 meters per second.
Yeah, I heard all that. That was before this part that I just played. This is about as far as I got.
Yeah. And then, and then Dean, and here's the other thing. Like Jeffrey Dougherty, I'll tell you about that story in a minute, but Jeffrey Dougherty showed up. He didn't show up to the debate, but he showed up the day before, or the day before. And he's like, the Christians have taken over the flat earth movement. I don't think so. This was a Christian-based event, but this event wasn't about whether Christianity is right, wrong, or anything. This was about, is the Bible a flat earth book?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so, I don't know. I have so many freaking things to say about that. But Dean did an amazing presentation of all of just interpreting the Bible. He said some stuff that I thought about, that I really rung with me. Like when God rolls back the firmament like a scroll, and then all we'll be able to see, that makes perfect sense to me. I mean, think about that. When they say, when Jesus returns, everyone will see him at the same time. Even on the flat earth, I have a hard problem with that because you can't see the whole flat earth from where we think the firmament is. But if you rolled it back and he is now the most high, does that kind of make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
So it says he says
So
that
then he
he'll
went
roll
off.
it back like a scroll. That to me,
good.
sorry, just that to me sounds like the sky is flat. Just saying.
Yeah, okay, but it pulls it back, and now it's higher. Now we can see higher. Now our vision, from a higher vantage point, you'll be able to see more of the earth if you roll back the sky. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that can't get that in my head. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah. So then he goes off on Mark Sargent out of nowhere, and the first thing is I got confused. He goes, Mark Sargent has like a flat earther that hates Mark Sargent would say, and Mark has caused damage to the community. Like, why does he care? Why does he care about the progress of flat Earth? Like, he should be happy if that was the case and Mark had pulled it back.
That's
weird.
weird.
It was like really weird. It was really weird. He came at it like he was an angry flat earther, angry at Mark. Then he throws in that Mark's living with his mother, in his mother's basement, which he got from behind the curve, just like Tyler Rivera said, we went up to Dave's attic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where my studio is, and it's the top floor of my house. Yes, Mark lives on the bottom floor of his mother's house. But why does Mark live with his mother? Mark moved in with his mother because she needed one of her siblings, and he was the only one that was willing to do it to take care of her.
Yeah.
Okay?
She had cancer. Didn't she have
me.
Didn't she have cancer or has cancer or?
I have to tell you, like, there was a chance that Dean was going to call me up there, and I had like, I want to talk about the East-West thing he said. I had like 4 points that he wanted to talk about, but I wanted to literally say these 4 things you said can be completely completely explained away, but I don't want to spend my time talking about that. I want to talk about what a nasty Christian you are, of going after Mark Sargent for doing what most Christians won't even do. Taking care of their elderly parents, their sick parents. That pissed me off so much.
Did I hate it when people take shots at Mark?
To wring his neck.
It drives me nuts when people take shots at Mark. Mark never attacks anybody. Yeah. He's like the nicest guy.
I know, and Mark's already forgiven this guy for saying that. Mark's already making excuses like it's okay. It's not okay.
I don't think it's okay.
And I kind of let it blow by. He was talking about preaching or something, and he says, "My son, I don't know anything about his son, couldn't preach to an outhouse," he said, or something like that.
He said that about his own son?
About his own son.
I think that's because I was watching a video you put up of clips of him talking. His son is a flat earther. That's why he's talking shit about his son. Because he said his son brought flat earth to his house, and he was like, "Oh no, not in this house." So his son is into it. And he fucking hates it.
And he has a massive security there. If you notice, like did you watch the video I put up yesterday?
I don't know which one. I was watching a bunch of stuff.
Go to my YouTube channel. Play it in a second. Pull it up as you can. But it's short. It's very short. It's called "Curb Your Church Enthusiasm" or something like that.
Which channel?
DITRH.
Okay.
So he made that. So he has this major security force there. And right after he kicked everyone out, he fired his head of security because he found out his head of security was at the Friday night meetup, and he was a flat earther, and he fired him.
See, and then in the videos, and then at the same breath, he'll be like, "I don't care if you think the earth's flat. I love you. I'll pastor to you." Oh, but you're fucking fired.
Well, all right. Just fire this up full screen. Fire it up full screen.
Okay.
The first video, the first one. Yeah.
Hold on.
Good. I'll mute.
Okay.
I gave you the Bible. I gave more Bible than you did, for a fact, right there. All right.
Oh, really?
That's a fact.
Well, I'll tell you what. How about in your rebuttal, I'll keep my mouth shut, and you tell me how wrong I was about your misapplication of the ring standing in Job chapter 38.
First of all,
hello, is it sunrise or not?
Not at all. I don't agree with you.
Turn his mic off. Get out. You're a Bible denier. You're a Bible denier.
What a baby.
You're a Bible denier.
Oh my god. That's pretty funny.
Total hypocrite. He's what's wrong with this entire... The guy is a total fraud. And you know the story about his wife, right?
Oh yeah, that he left her for, like, that woman is not
his... He left his wife because he was accused of being with his secretary or whatever, and he's like, "No, I would never be with her," and then like 3 months later he married her.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy is not...
And you know what?
Not a good person.
Yeah, no, that's the least of his issues. You know what? You can make excuses for that, but what he did there, what he did to Mark, what he said about his son, it's horrible. And I have to say, you know, everyone has their differences with Dean, and Dean said in his sermon, you know, like he's had bad words with many people. I think he even mentioned you. He mentioned Jaron. Even, you know, and that he, you know, we all change. We're only as good as our ability to, you know, see our darkness or whatever and change. And you know what? I think you would have been very, very happy with all the stuff Dean did there, from the debate to his sermon on that Sunday yesterday.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Well, good.
It was really good. And there was 175 people, maybe more on the first night. Then the church was half at least flat earthers. And I think there was, I thought 3,000, maybe just over 2,000, but it was a lot of people in there. And then Dean had his service in the hotel in a big room and had to put more chairs in. There was probably 240 people in there, and a lot of people from the church. They're like, we're done, we're out.
Wow. Well, sorry about that, Greg. You know what's funny too is when I went back and watched your videos, I didn't know that he was like saying, "I'll write a $30,000 check." And I was like, "Oh man, shouldn't have said that, my friend."
Nobody ever thought that and then the other thing was, Dean made all of these great points that he could not, there's really no defense. So instead of that, he pulls out Nathan Roberts' doctrine meme that has like 100, flat earth biblical things on it. And we all, you, me, everyone else, agree that more than half of that list is nonsense. And that's what he kept going on. And we're all yelling at him, that's not our list. Address what Dean has, and he wouldn't do it. He was literally debunking Nathan Roberts. And we're like,
nobody even listens to that guy. Doesn't even do anything anymore. He fell off,
right?
Didn't he?
But he's like, well, he goes, well, this is what all that's being sent around, not by us, not by us.
Mm.
It's amazing. And then Austin was about to go up. Dean was going to call, and that's when he blew up the whole thing, because he knew if any of those specific points got to be rebutted, he was going to look really bad.
Yeah, because he didn't do any research. Like, it's clear that beforehand he had no idea to the level of which he would be
Wait a minute.
challenged.
You can't say he didn't do any research. He did watch Behind the Curve and check out the Flat Earth Society. So that's research.
Oh, God.
Right?
That still makes me laugh. On Twitter, people will be like, "Oh, well, you guys proved there was curvature in motion," and I was like, "You guys are so dumb. Like, why do you think we're the ones who proved all that stuff? Like, for real? Like, it wouldn't be all over the news."
That's the other thing. Like, we're the only ones that proved it. Now, getting over to McToon, what the heck was he doing there? Do you know where he lives? Does he live close? Did he drive there, or did he fly in for this?
I have no idea. I thought he was like in Texas somewhere, but I don't know.
He's a little short marshmallow, and I don't advise anyone, if you ever see him, shaking his hand, because my hand still feels weird. I swear to God.
I think you should go soak your hand in a dish of sea salt.
That's what I was thinking. I was actually going to do that, and I was going to hook it up to my Tesla coil, because I can put like these probes in the water. I'm actually, listen, I know that you're kind of joking, not joking, but I'm actually going to do that.
Dude, I'm kind of joking, but I'm also not joking. Like, I don't know. I might put my whole body in salt after being around McToon, dude.
I'm not joking, and I am going to do it.
That's so funny. Oh my goodness.
I was just amazing. All the people I saw there. And Zulu gave me about 75 keychains, and I was selling them as fast as I can talk to people. I think I have maybe 20 left over, and that's just because I didn't have time to, put them out and tell people about them.
That's cool.
And everybody loves them. Everyone thought they were amazing, and I highly recommend, if you don't have one, go on the app, go to the shopping cart, and buy one. Christmas gift. They're the best $20 Christmas gift you can get. I think they're $15 for U.S. people, but pay them $20.
Right on. Effed Up World says McToon lives by me in Minnesota, so he came from Minnesota.
How far is that? Is that far? I lose my.
It's a couple states away, I guess.
All right, but he was sitting there alone. Don't know, that's just like, it's such a sad life. And looking into the eyes of a demon. Oh, this is the other thing. You know, it's not fun. But he goes to me, he goes, I think that you really think the earth is flat. And I go, I look at him, I go, I know that you know the earth is flat and you're lying for some reason that you can't disclose. And he ran away. He had no answer. He just ran away.
Yeah. He's lying for money.
Well, I think that a lot of these guys, you know, like Bob the Science Guy, he was about to go to jail for prescribing, you know, barbiturates for blowjobs, and you know, Fight the Fat Shirt, he brutally beat a woman, and all of a sudden their cases are closed, and then they show up on the Flat Earth scene. I'm convinced that a lot of these guys, if they're not doing it just for money, they're doing it for, like, you know, blackmail that's going to keep them out of jail and losing everything. And I don't know. If I had to guess, I have no evidence of this whatsoever. McToon did something, and they're like, you know what? You've got a pretty good skill as far as scientific pseudoscience knowledge. You do this, and you know, full time. I think about it, full time. Mm-hmm. Full time. And so that's what I think is going on. And I confronted him with it, and he literally just ran away. Ugh. Like, he couldn't say. No, maybe he's not even allowed to lie. Like, if someone calls the demon out on something and sees through, they can't lie, so he ran away. Maybe not, or maybe he was just like sick of me and wanted to get away from me. I don't know.
Maybe he didn't want to. Maybe he didn't realize that if you saw him face to face, that you would actually say those things that you say on screen, like to his face.
You know what? I actually thought about it a couple times. If I thought about it, I would have punched him right in the eye as hard as I could. And that would have been a really bad thing. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't have minded doing that. Except he would sue me and it would be a whole thing. But what a piece of shit, all right? I tried not to swear, but there it is.
Yeah. I don't know why you're trying not to swear here.
You know, I try not to swear, Karen. No, I know, because there's people that listen, and there's a very small percentage that are just like, you know, when you swear, you know, I have my kids with me, or I have this, or
yeah,
know,
that's true.
They just think that 4-letter words are the worst thing ever. And
I know.
I totally disagree, but I try not to.
I know. Sometimes I try not to too, but
unleash.
it's very hard, and I fail all the time.
Yeah. Here's it. When people say, you know, why do you do that? I say, do you think the word murder is a bad word? Can you use it in a good way? Use murder in a good way. Okay? Murder is worse than all of the 4-letter words you can think of. Because I can use them. Hey, Karen, you look fucking beautiful today.
Thank you.
There, see, thank you. That's the proper response. Okay? All right? So it's an adjective. People, get over it.
I know. I don't really mind it. You know, whatever.
I know.
But I get why people don't like it.
It's social engineering.
Yeah.
It's social engineering. That's why they don't like it.
So what else? Who else was there? Anybody else of worth talking about?
Well, Matt Long was there. Fantastic.
Right.
Jeffrey Doherty showed up. And I respect his right to show up. I respect his opinion on everything. He is the opposite. You know, he is the anti-Christian, and this, because it was a biblical debate between two pastors, 99% of the people there were very strong biblical Christians.
Right.
Although there were a lot of people that were, you know, were Christ believing. You know, I don't know if you can define them as Bible Christians, and it was all good. And Dean welcomed everybody.
That's cool.
Dean welcomed everybody. Yeah. And you know, Jeffrey had a little meltdown about it, saying that the whole movement's taken over. No, it's not. The movement is, everyone has their own movement. Like, Karen, who told you to do this show? Who told you to make conferences? Who told you to make the videos that you make?
Nobody. And clearly Jeffrey...
Nobody.
And Jeffrey hasn't been to my events, because my events are not like all religious. I mean, I'm Christian. I call myself Christian friendly. Like, it's everybody's there.
Your last one Yeah, because a couple of Robbie's events were pretty strong on the Christian side. Not just more than 50%. Then you went the other way. You just like, all right, we're having nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You can't please everybody. You can't please everybody. It's all there. So he's wrong. It hasn't taken over. But yes, there is a strong faction. That's the wrong word. There's a strong group of Bible-believing Christians that are in Flat Earth, and Jeffrey adamantly is opposed to them. And that's okay. Because the way I say it is, if you have a strong belief and somebody has the opposite belief, their opposite belief should cement your stronger belief if you truly believe it.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to have contrasting views.
Right.
Yeah. So I think he was just a little off there, a little triggered, and everybody was very nice to him, but he disappeared right after the first night. He didn't even go to the meetup or the event, which was interesting after a 9-hour drive. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know what he expects though. What did he expect? It's like he wants to, and I feel like he wants to like argue Christianity with people who don't even care about that part of it.
Right. But he was there. He could have literally sat down and said, "Hey, would anyone like to have a friendly conversation over a cup of coffee or a beer and talk about our points of views together?" And he could have done. There would have been tons of people happy to discuss that with him. So it's crazy. Who else is there? So Matt Long was there. One of the Flat Earth brothers was there.
Oh yeah, I saw that. He put out a video, Josh. Yeah. He was being all nice.
There were some great guys from TikTok there that put out great work. There was, who else was there? Gene Odell was there.
Of course.
Wendy Stedman, I don't know if you know who she is. She's just she's been to events and stuff. She's great with her son Levi, who is awesome. Little kid, smart, homeschooled, flat earther, amazing.
Right on.
Yeah, a bunch of good people. Austin was there, of course. And then Austin, the guy, I don't know his last name, that has the speech impediment, he had a brain injury that always falls into Strange World.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was there. He's awesome. We hung out with him and him and his family, his mother and father. They go to every event. They're everywhere.
Yeah, they're
everywhere.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm probably forgetting other people. And there was so much going on. I forgot to plug the app on the 4 times I spoke. All 4 times.
So they had a bunch of security there. Like I saw pictures of dudes with weapons.
Did you see in my video? If you look to the left, literally guys in army bulletproof vests. And when the debate fell out, I saw like 4 or 5 of them within like 20 feet of the stage. But when the thing ended, there was a whole bunch of them surrounding him. I know Matt Long, who spoke at Skyfall, and Greg spoke at Skyfall, conference with Dean. They were friends at the beginning. The first day, when we got there, he saw Matt, shook his hand. How you doing? Good to see you, and all is well. And then at the end, after the complete and total, it would have been hysterical. I'm sitting in the front row with Austin and Matt. If there was a camera on Matt's face. just Matt's like really smiling, it's all going well, and then it starts going down and he gets this serious look on his face, and that would have been an amazing shot. But Matt, at the end of the whole thing, like a real man, walks up to the stage, holds out his hand to just shake Greg's hand, and Greg looked at him and walked away, left him hanging.
Wow.
That just shows you right there.
Well, that just shows you what kind of person he is.
I was surprised that Matt. I was like, wow, Matt, you're really going to go shake his hand? But I'm like, you know what? That is the man thing to do. and he literally looked at him and walked away. That tells you something right there.
Yeah.
This man is not a good man.
Mm-mm.
Not a good man. And Dean said in his sermon, doesn't hate him, going to pray for him. Good idea. Good idea, because that man needs some prayers, because he is a lost soul. Him and McToon should hook up.
I bet you they will.
I bet you they will. And he'll be like showing them, like, you're right, you did it. And not only biblical, scientifically, and he'll just screw up his whole brain even further. And that guy will just, that's what he's looking for. He's looking for McToon lies to re-cement his belief. The guy's just horrible human being. Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah. Well, that's too bad. He's got a huge following too. I'd never even heard of him before. I was like, oh, he's got a lot, like millions of followers.
So,
millions of people know about Flat Earth now.
Texting me. Yeah. So Dr. Kansas Taylor, from Jesus, Guns, and Babies, she ran for governor in Georgia. She's watching it, freaking out. And should I reveal this name? Let's just say somebody very high up in the cancer truth industry was texting me, who was a fan of Greg Locke and completely lost respect for him during the debate. So hopefully we're going to be collaborating and doing the truth about Earth, perhaps.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
And then a guy, Tim Greer, never heard of him before. He calls me up after this debate is scheduled and goes, hey, Dave, I'm doing a meetup, a podcaster meetup the day before, Friday. I want you to be part of it. I'm like, cool. And the guy was awesome. He literally rented the room in the hotel, got everything we needed and didn't charge anybody anything. And that's where we had 175 people. So that was like, in 2.5 days, we had 4 major, Flat Earth meetups.
That's awesome.
Still decompressing.
Yeah, I know who Tim Greer is from Facebook. And I think
everybody go follow that guy. He's super good. He's super generous. He's super motivated. He's really a great guy.
Awesome.
And then another thing. I was, I said when I spoke at the sermon, I got up and said a few words. I said, I was, my story that you've all heard, I was an atheist, and then I discovered Flat Earth, and it brought me to the Creator. Boom. What could be better than that? And then you've heard me say many times that, and I think you agree, that the discovery of our true cosmology brings people out of depression and out of drug addiction, because depression leads to drug addiction or whatever the reason is, because it really brings you in. And we have many, many examples of people that are in that exact situation. And I got an email this morning from a guy that said, he was I think he said drugs. I forget exactly. It was either drugs or depression, but I'm pretty sure it was drugs. And his life was falling apart, and he found Flat Earth because of me or one of us. And it saved his life, his family. It saved his life. And he said he wants to, share his testimony. And I asked him to make a short video walking around the yard, just telling him what he said, and send that email. And I'm going to make a video. Hopefully he sends it soon. It's just so, it's so emotionally uplifting. All of the stories and stuff. I'm just blown away.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you had a good time. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I had a great time, and as I said in the beginning, it's like you only have time to say, hey, what's your name? Where are you from? And then 2 seconds later, you're talking to somebody else. I wish I had time to have an in-depth conversation with everybody. And I also have the situation where I probably blew some people off.
It's hard, man. With these big events, it's really difficult. It's so difficult. I mean, it's like that at Flattoberfest too. There's so much going on. You can't.
Yeah. I did my best. So if anyone's listening and I blew you off, I didn't blow you off. I'm just trying to navigate and talk to as many people as I can. So that's why I got up and spoke. So like if I didn't talk to you personally, yeah, it's pretty wild. And I did this podcast with Jack, what's his last name? Jack. Oh my God, if he's listening, he's gonna kill me. He has a huge following. He's got like 10 billion views. And he's starting this new podcast. We did a 3-hour in-studio podcast. For my first in-studio podcast, professional lighting and mics and everything. Jack Vale. He's the pooter guy. He's the guy that goes around in Walmart and farts on people.
Oh my God, are you serious?
But that's not what his podcast is about. That's a separate thing he does.
Thepooter.com.
He did it. Pooter. No, just go to Jack Vale's channel. But he has huge social media numbers. But he's doing this really professionally filmed and done podcast, and
holy crap!
It's launching. What's that?
He's from Lodi, California. Crazy.
That's him right there. Yeah, that's him. And it was really a great interview, and he's totally hooked on flat Earth, and it's gonna be really good, really good. It's funny. He looks like Jim Brewer.
He does kind of. 3.9 million followers.
So listen to this. He looks like Jim Brewer. And I said that to him, and I mentioned something about me trying to get on Jim Brewer. He goes, "Oh, I'm good friends with Jim Brewer. Hold on." And he calls Jim Brewer up on speakerphone while we're driving. And Jim's like, "Yo, Jack." And Jim quickly tells a story how Jim was walking through an airport or somewhere, and a couple guys come up and lean over to him and goes, "I love the pooter stuff," thinking that he's Jack Vale. They didn't even recognize Jim Brewer. Thinking that he was Jack Vale. And the same thing happens to Jack, where people think he's Jim Brewer. It's the craziest thing ever.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Wow, he's got a huge following too. That's awesome. So is Jim Brewer going to have you on?
Well, I spoke with Jim. Jim has been doing a lot of stuff with Sean Hibbler. Jim knows the Earth is flat, and Jim is playing his cards, and he'll do it when the time is right. No hate towards Jim Brewer. He's managing, juggling a lot of things. So there'll be a time. There's now is the time. Now the bigger podcasts are going to start coming out, and they're going to start talking about flat Earth, and they can't censor all of us, and it's going to happen overnight. So I think it's going to happen soon.
All right.
I think it's going to happen soon.
Well.
All right. That is
cool.
is all. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for calling. Cool beans.
All right, goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Jim thinks voting for Trump will solve the problem. Well, we all know voting isn't going to do a damn thing. I had a car stolen in Lodi, New Jersey. Well, this is Lodi, California. Lodi, California is like this little town in the valley in California, a little bit south of Sacramento. There's a big winery town. There's a lot of wineries there. It's just a country town. It's just like a random place. Whenever you see someone there's a few people, who have come out of California, and I'm from California. I grew up there, so I'm very familiar with, all the areas. So like people like Jeremy Renner, who's from a shithole town like Stockton. Like, it just blows my mind that guy became like a Hollywood star, and he came from Stockton. And if anybody who lives in California knows that Stockton is like there's so much crime. It's like the whole city is a ghetto. It's just like one of the worst places to live in the entire state. Lodi is not so bad. It's a little winery town. It's actually a cute little country town. It's not so bad, but it's just a random place for people to be from. Anyway, that's cool. So yeah, any of you famous people You know, there's other flat Earth content creators who can help you produce stuff. Wink, wink. Just saying. Humor is important in this crazy world. I agree. I like to have fun and make jokes. That's why I made that meme about what's his name, Greg Locke. I was watching the video and I saw him make this pose in the video, and I was like, ah, yes, selective screenshot. I'm memeing you, dude. So I memed him. You got memed. Stockton has Nick and Nate Diaz. I'll respect that, Armpit. I don't know who Nick and Nate Diaz is, but Stockton is like a shithole. See, Dr. Back Asswards he can back me up. I don't know if it's the armpit or the butthole. See Smarter Every Day dress down NASA? Did they really? Well, Smarter Every Day, as far as I know, they're like, that dude's completely globalist, unless he changed his mind somehow, unless he's been looking at some flat earther stuff. Oh, Nick and Nate are UFC fighters? Farters. That's because of that whole Jack Vale fart thing. Nick and Nate, UFC fighters. You know what, MFT? It makes sense that UFC fighters would come out of Stockton, because that is the ghetto. It is the ghetto. They probably grew up fighting. Yeah, Cammy, I think he was. I think he was. A link to what? Oh, to Smarter Every Day. He's saying stuff that you should see. Yeah, here in the UK, Londoners are a tough breed of people. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm telling you, Stockton, like, that makes sense that there's UFC fighters that came out of Stockton. That's 100% believable. Yeah, Bryce Mitchell is a flat earther. I sent him a message on Twitter inviting him to Flattoberfest, but I was ignored. I don't even think he looked at the message. You know what annoys me about some of these like more popular people? It's like they all talk to the same person, and then that person like shits on other people, and so nobody else gets a chance to talk to, you know, some of these people. It's like, come on. Do you want the word to get out or not? Do you want to wake people up or not? Like, why are you guys all acting like all in the cool kids club? It's annoying. A fart bubble would work on your meme right by his name. Yeah. So yeah, I was watching this. I never did see where he got to talk crap about. Maybe I don't even need to watch the rest of it. I mean, do I even need to? Israel and USA want to flatten Gaza. Scrotal Xerox says, I can't believe more science interpreters aren't completely fed up with NASA BS can kicking. But because space is hard. Space is hard. Remember? Sean Strickland is trying to save Bud Light. I saw that Dana White was making a deal with Bud Light. And, you know, his reasoning, I actually can't argue with. Because he was saying that he did that because because the actual factory provides a lot of jobs. And, like, probably in that town where the Bud Light factories are, probably does provide a lot of jobs and is helping the economy. It's, you know, jobs for Americans, whether you like to drink that piss or not. You know, whatever. And, you know, he's not wrong. People need to, and unfortunately in this world, you know, we need money to live, or you can live without it, but it's not such a great life, right? You don't have any of your creature comforts. You got to give up a lot, you know? So. Matthew McConaughey is also flat earth. Also, I've heard that Rose McGowan is a flat earther. There's a lot of flat earthers who are famous, but, you know, they don't want to come out and talk about it because you get a lot of criticism when you come out as a public flat earther. You know, you get a lot of criticism. So I guess I don't really blame people for not wanting to come out publicly about it, especially people who already have a huge following. Because the more people that are following you, the more people there are to give you shit when you say something that they don't like. So that's why, you know, I have a lot of respect for, like, Stefan. Shout out to Stefan from the Deftones, because he's just like, Earth flat, feast, you know? So I wish there were more people like him willing to, like, come on and hang out with us and talk, you know? All famous people that are flat earthers are all Illuminati? Well, I don't think so. I don't get Illuminati vibes off Stefan. I mean, I can't talk about everybody because I haven't talked to everybody, but I'm just gonna go ahead and believe that he's a good person because I already decided that he is, and he's always really cool. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things not because they are easy, but because they are hard, right? Exactly. Exactly. Space is hard. Yeah. So yeah, there was that debate that went on this weekend. And then you know what was kind of crazy too? You know what else is going on that I thought was really awesome? That I'm just gonna mention. I'm not gonna dwell on it. I'm not gonna go off. I'm just gonna say this is great. This right here. This video that Bro Sanchez put out. This is fantastic. It's fantastic. Finally, this fraud is being exposed for the fraud that he is, and I'm not just talking about his record, talking about his doublespeak, his hypocrisy, his narcissism, his complete and utter spewing of total BS. Anyway, I know that Bro Sanchez was having some shows with him and stuff for a while. Well, this guy finally showed his true colors to Bro Sanchez, the only friend in the flat earth community that you had, my friend. Well, I guess it was Martin too, but Bro with 130k subscribers, like, that was your good friend. You know, that was your only foot into the flat earth, and then now he is done with you too because you suck, dude. So that was really cool. So if you guys want to go, you guys can go to the Bro Sanchez TV channel and you can hear what Bro says about this whole thing. Silly drama, But I'm just happy to see that people are finally because there's actually a lot of comments in here that are like, I didn't know this. I had no idea this about this guy. Like they didn't know what his past was, you know, and now people finally know and they're seeing that he's a grifter, just a grifter. As Bro Sanchez says, a doomsday grifter. So anyway, that was a cool video. I was watching a little bit of that this morning. That made me happy. Yes, Brandon C. I knew he was on some BS when he was still talking globe model, Anunnaki, aliens, and ish. Right? Exactly, Magnetic Electric. Like, how do you say 1 minute the Earth is flat, and then the next minute start talking about globe BS and aliens and all this stuff, and then, and then on the other side of that, just say, oh, well, it's a simulation, so it could be whatever you want it to be. Yeah, get the fuck out of here with your double-speaking bullshit, grifting bullshit. Seriously, I am so glad to see that, that finally get exposed. Yeah. Have you guys heard of Freedom Cells by Derek Bros? Yes. I have heard of Freedom Cells by Derek Bros. Are you in a Freedom Cell? Do you have one? Are there any in America? And he sets dates way in the future so he can play his grift for years without issue. Exactly, Rico's tinfoil sombrero. That was my complaint in the very beginning. First of all, setting dates about when the earth is gonna, or when the world is gonna end, or when there will be some sort of tragic reset. Nobody knows dates. Nobody can predict anything. And second of all, yeah, and that was my whole thing, right? 2040, and what is it? 2023, well, almost 2024. So he's got 16 years to like lead everybody along and take their money and feed them bullshit until he just disappears after 2040 when nothing fucking happens. I mean, I feel sorry for people that fall for that stuff. But then you look in those comments of that Bro Sanchez video and they're like, oh, low blow. He doesn't deserve this. Blah, blah, blah. You're just, you know, like, it's insane how much people are defending that crap, you know? He's dead in rabbit hole. You believe aliens in the simulation is real. Well, I'm sorry about that. Yeah. So anyway, and then people in the comments giving that BS story that he fed everybody, like, he got charged with aggravated sexual assault, aka rape, and spent, you know, dozens of years in prison and is still on probation and has to mandatory report every year as a sex offender because he saved the girl after somebody else raped her. Right. Like, she didn't die, okay? She lived. So if she was alive, then she could have said, hey, this guy didn't rape me. He helped me. He got me out of the dangerous situation. But you know what? She didn't. That tells me that he's a guilty piece of shit. Pedos can't be rehabilitated. I don't know that it's like even like a pedophile thing because they were both the same age when he did what he did, but still, he brutally raped and kidnapped somebody. And he has the age of 21 yet. You know? No offense, dude. That's like one of the dumbest things. I swear. My reaction is not part of a simulation. A simulation of what? There's nothing being simulated here. I have my own free thoughts and my own free will. I happen to believe that my thoughts are my own. Okay? because I know what it was like to have thoughts that were planted in my head by programming and bullshit, and I don't do that anymore. So, anyway. Rose Sanchez was talking about a collab with Archaics. I told them this info in the chat, and all of them were in denial. I said, do some fucking research about these people. I know. I don't even, you know what? I just stayed out of it. Interlaced, but interlaced video is not supported. What does that mean, interlaced? Yeah. Anyway. I just stay out of that stuff because I just don't want anything to do with it, you know. And I heard, and I don't know this because I didn't go seek out to like watch this video or to like verify it. But somebody was saying that that dude was even complaining that he wasn't invited to be part of Flatoberfest. Like, why would I invite some rapist, who thinks that we live in a simulated globe with aliens and whatever you think? Like, why would I ever have anything to do with that? Like, there's just no. Is JB's other research into vapor canopy valid? I mean, in my opinion, I would have to say no, because if you look at what the vapor canopy is from, you know what the vapor canopy theory is from? I don't believe that there was ever this vapor canopy. I think they just made that shit up. That was like a globalist invention, because a vapor canopy came from the theory that long ago Earth had ice rings around it like Saturn. And the ice rings fell to the Earth and created a vapor canopy. You know, it's like, what? So I just don't believe it. I don't know why people think that. Whatever. Several videos bitching about J Dreamers. Why? Why is he bitching about J Dreamers? Like, why do you even go, like, why would you even go around complaining about other people and what they're doing? Just do your thing, man. Before flood, Earth was only about 15% oceans. And where do you get that? I'm curious where you get that from, Nathan Reed. Make pedos afraid again. Hi, Jenny Spark. 1982 is the best year ever? Why is that? Does anybody else want to call in? The phones are open, 848-222-2480. Talk to Eddie Bravo, he can get Bryce. Well, here's the thing. Eddie Bravo doesn't talk to me. Anybody who's friends with... I don't know, man. Like, I don't even know if I should... I don't even want to get into it, because there's this whole, like, weird background in the back, behind the scenes, like, division that was put there by Eric Dubay. I'll just say that it's all his fault, to where certain people who talk to one group don't talk to the rest of us, but the rest of us will talk to anybody. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a certain group that they think they're better than other. It seems like they act like they think that they're better, maybe, than some of the rest of us, and that the rest of us are just shills because erectile dysfunction said so. Snoop Dogg has a vapor canopy in his smoking room. You woke up at 5 a.m.? I've been up since 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Got all you 80s people doing that, and it's awesome. Why is my stream having trouble now? Why? We still going? Okay, now it says good connection again. I don't understand. I literally don't change anything in my settings, and I'll stream a couple of times and everything will be great, and then all of a sudden it just wants to mess with me for whatever reason. I don't know, you guys. Marketing scheme to sell grills? I don't get it. Okay, we working? It keeps going in and out. I'm sorry. YouTube hates me. New words for sunrise and sunset. Somebody was saying, Carly Sunshine used to say sun approach and sun exit. That's kind of a good way to say it. It's just not as catchy as sunrise or sunset. Again. Dubé Pisties is no longer the go-to flat earther. Well, you know, why did he have to ever start talking crap about all of us? That's what I don't get, dude. Why did he ever have to start doing that? You know? Like, just from the very beginning, we've had problems because of our own people. You know what I'm saying? And which makes me feel like, are you even our own people? He's the only one that I'm really, really suspicious of because he's caused so much division. Like, it's been years, and it's still going on. Like, it's crazy to me. You know, like, you're supposed to be part of our people, and like the most division has come from that source. So, you know, whatever. Sunbreak and Sunseed. Yeah, is Mercury in retrograde? Could be. They're also saying that there was like supposedly some solar storm that was going to be causing problems. I don't know that that's necessarily what's going on here, but whatever. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Haters, eh? Hey, boy. Yeah, he didn't block me. He follows me. That's what's funny. Watch. Or at least he used to, unless he unfollowed me. He might have. Let's see. Eric Dubé follows you. Flat Earth maps to share. Oh, isn't that cute? Yeah, anyway, whatever. Sarah, we missed you too. We moved everything back to Cammie's house. I was like thinking maybe we could get you guys to come hang out since we were at Cammie's house, but probably it still probably might not have been too... Well, there was another little new baby there. That guy... Oh, I wish I could remember his name right now. I'm so bad. Let me... Where's that picture? Did anybody send me that picture? The group picture we took? Do I have it? Let me see. Oh yeah, I do. Here, let me post it. There we go. This guy, the guy who won the clock, I can't remember his name, but this is his wife, and there's their brand new baby, 22 days old. So there we go. Ariel was there, Jana, Cammie, Chris. I wish I could, somebody help me. I know Sarah organized a meetup and then she ended up not even being part of it. Because she was trying to get us bowling and then, you know how it is trying to get flat earthers to agree to something. It's like worse than herding cats. I think herding cats is like a generous description of what you have to go through sometimes to get people together. Maybe that's why more meetups don't happen, because everybody's just like, on their own time. I'll just say this. What do you expect when you try to get together a bunch of nonconformists? I mean, do you expect anything different? Do you expect anything different from a bunch of nonconformists than to not conform? Mm-hmm. What clock? The clock you made, Zulu. Not this last, but a couple of Flattoberfest ago. Not the one we just had, but the one before where you gave me a clock to give away. And I had all the speakers sign it, and then I raffled it off. That one. I'm a good camera. Exactly. We're just a bunch of rebellious free thinkers, and so I think that's why it's so hard. That might be why. You're welcome. I just gave you all an excuse. Oh, Snoop Dogg was selling smokeless grills. That's why he said he was gonna stop smoking. Oh, okay, gotcha. I'm 100% globe questioning, especially with the mainstream globe imagery discrepancy. The thing I can't wrap my head around totally is, why does the sun, moon appear the largest at the horizon sometimes? Because the moisture... Here's my theory as to why it seems bigger at the horizon is because, like, that thing that Rob Skiba used to talk about. Let's go back to Rob Skiba channel, right? Playlists. Do. Oh my gosh, there's so many playlists on his channel. Testing the Globe. Rob's Flat Earth videos. Here we go. How the Four Seasons work. Doobie-doobie-doo. I know it's part of the video of that the Chicago skyline is not a mirage. Hey, look at Old School Mark. Here we go. This one. Let's see. No. No, that's not what I wanted. This one. Here we go. Okay, pause. See if I can see where he's talking about it. Or if it's even in this video. This might be the other one. Here we go. Flat Earth and atmospheric magnification, the short version.
Their true positions, and also to appear indistinctly coming into view in indistinct and enlarged form. Well, the indistinct part's tripping me up here because...
Whereas normally you wouldn't be able to see that far because of the curvature of the Earth. So what's happening in this case is, especially this time of year, Lake Michigan is much colder than the air above it, and that has...
Looking across...
So here...
Now, when I was headed back to Chicago,
good explanation,
to catch my flight, I snapped this picture of the Willis Tower. And this is, if you go on Google Earth, this is right about the area right here where I believe I was when I took that picture. Looking across, it's only about 0.6 of a mile. So I'm just a little over a half mile away, and look at the size of the tower as compared to the car that was diagonally in front of me. We were looking at the Willis Tower from this direction right here when we were on the other side of the lake. Now, okay, so let me slide the car over and shrink it down to the appropriate scale beside the boat. Do you see something rather interesting here? This building is significantly magnified. The image on the left shows the size and scale of the building next to a car at 0.6 of a mile away. The image on the right shows the same building and the same car with a boat at 46 miles away. The atmosphere really is acting like a lens. What type of lens? A convex lens or a magnifying glass. So I'm going to suggest this is what's happening. The atmosphere is acting like a lens, which magnifies the city, brings it up a little closer, and as it does so, we start to lose a little bit of the bottom of the buildings, and perhaps due to the density in the atmosphere, there's additional refraction that takes place that makes it drop down even more. Is that what happened? Let's look at it from another angle here, from the side view. I'll bring our graphic back in of refraction. Let's go ahead and orient the graphic so it better represents what we're looking at here. I'll angle the light rays to show the density of the air here causing the refraction, and bring our lens in so we can magnify the city. It brings the city up, and as it does so, we start to lose a little bit of the bottom of the city, And perhaps either due to the magnification or due to additional refraction, maybe it is dropped down a little bit more, and this is what we end up with. Huh. Just like we saw. Now this is a still frame from the half-hour video that I did, and the numbers you see there are all based on the numbers that Tony was giving me based on his device. His device said it was 37 nautical miles, which is 42.6 statute miles. But when you plot the same exact location that we were at, the exact distance you get on Google Earth is 46 miles. So you basically add about 4 miles to all the numbers that you saw in the half-hour video. But I'm beginning to think if that is indeed the science, and let's just go back and hear from the experts once again what's happening with the atmosphere.
The science is the same of that of a lens. Here's a simple example.
So if you're looking at Chicago here, just maybe now you can just see the top of the Sears Tower, and if our simulated temperature inversion moves into place, hopefully now you can see pretty much all of Chicago,
see all the lower buildings,
including what's at ground level.
So the atmosphere really is acting like a lens.
Yes.
So the atmosphere really is acting like a lens, according to the experts. Now, you guys don't need to go out and spend tens of thousands of dollars to get that pretty piece of paper to hang up on the I Love Me wall and put letters after your name so you can call yourself an expert. You can be an expert with what you see here on the screen. Yep, believe it or not. Go to Walmart, and your advanced degree in atmospheric lensing technology will cost you just a couple dollars. You can get a 2x power lens for about $1.85, I think, at Walmart. Get yourself some Scotch tape. Then if you look in the description below, you'll see I put a PNG file of a city. You can print that up. Look what happens with atmospheric lensing. Wow, isn't that amazing? And you didn't have to go to college either. Now you can get in a boat and drive to Chicago, and wow, look at that. Now let's compare. See, look at this. This is how much of the city was lost simply due to atmospheric lensing. Now remember, the experts, the guys that spent tens of thousands of dollars to get advanced degrees in this stuff so that people would recognize that they're smart, they told you the science really is that of a lens. Now, of course, the first time I posted something like this on YouTube, the baltards came out from under every rock on this plane to make fun of me and say I didn't know what I was talking about with refraction. That's not how it works, and blah, blah, blah. And they looked at the image on the lower right here of the magnifying glass showing the city and how it was all wavy and distorted. And they said, well, look, your magnifying glass made everything distorted, and Joshua Nowicki's picture was straight up and down. You're an idiot, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, okay, so then these other guys came out and they started posting all this stuff about the Toronto skyline. And you've probably seen the meme being passed around on Facebook and everything, showing the lower portion of one of the tall buildings there in Toronto being missing, and they're saying, see, this is proof of the globe. And you start seeing videos like this one.
Another way to demonstrate the curve is with distant city skylines. A good example is the city of Toronto, viewed from across Lake Ontario. The city is dominated by the distinctive CN Tower, currently the third tallest tower in the world at 1,815 feet. There are many pictures online of the Toronto skyline, viewed from Niagara-on-the-Lake, New York, 30 miles away. With the Metabunk calculation, we see that 486 feet of the tower, or about 26% of it, should be hidden behind the curve of the Earth from that distance. And this is exactly what we see, as you can easily tell when compared to an image of the full tower at the same scale. One example they use is the Chicago skyline seen from 60 miles away across Lake Michigan. At a viewing height of 6 feet, we calculate that 2,166 feet should be below the horizon at 60 miles. So they are right that the entire city of Chicago should be completely hidden. And it is hidden nearly all the time, but sometimes it can be seen from that far away, due to a type of atmospheric light refraction phenomenon called a superior mirage. A superior mirage is caused by colder air below warmer air, which bends the light around the curve of the Earth.
This is getting a little off the topic,
this event
but
sometimes makes the news for the very reason that it is a rare occurrence.
No.
But it is relevant because the way the atmosphere, the atmosphere and the things in the atmosphere do affect what we see.
Most social settings, such a continuous condescending tone would likely get you punched in the face repeatedly. But beyond that, I have to remind you of the response that another former weatherman gave regarding the whole idea of this being a superior mirage. Let me play that for you again.
See, what they're not showing you is the ridiculousness of how high this mirage would be. But I'm showing you what it is right here. And remember, since we saw the water line the whole way, okay, let me show you how that would look. The water was up there with it too. So from the guy that took the camera all the way out, okay, we're supposed to believe that there was a continuous 5,200 feet inversion that suddenly just happened to come down to the guy right on the edge perfectly, so that he saw, when he looked out, like a perfect skyline across there of Chicago. So again, here are the steps. You have the regular upside, right side up image, then you turn it upside down. It has to happen on a mirage, guys. This is the typical one you see out at sea, this upside down one right here. Now what they're claiming is it was so deep, this layer here, this inversion, that it had enough to rectify back up once again. 5,200 feet. Now why did I come up with that number? Because the curvature from the distance would be 2,400 feet roughly from 60 miles. So if it happened to get the exact perfect curvature from the top of these towers, okay, it would require a minimum. Actually, it requires more than this. I'm being generous. It requires 2,400 feet plus the height of the tower. It would be 2,400 feet just to get the base. So I'm not even including that. What's the height of the tower? I don't know, whatever that is. So many, is it 1,000 feet, 1,200 feet, 14? I don't know what it is. But that's really that times 3, not 2,400. I'm being very generous.
Maybe I shouldn't let this play. But the whole point is the atmospheric magnification part. I thought that's what he was going to go on. Oh, here's a good thing. This shows you, too, the time lapse.
Quite extraordinary, actually. This is
from the Skunk Bay Weather.
SkunkBayWeather.com.
And this shows you,
7th,
like, watch these mountains
Notice
and
the
stuff back
buildings,
here.
And the shoreline here over on the left. Keep your eye on that. Just watch that, and the mountain in the background. Everything's pretty cool. You can see pretty much everything there. But as the day progresses, and we are now at 9:30 a.m. and it's 59 degrees, 60 degrees. It's getting warmer. The temperature is changing. We start to see some miraging take place.
Greg Locke is a mirage.
To distort things a little bit. Ooh, look at that. The water seems like it's getting higher, and we're losing buildings, and we're losing the beach. Here it is now, noon. 63 degrees and climbing. Uh-oh. There it goes. Oh, there it is again. Oh, it's all miraged. Huh. It's all distorted. Sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. The default is to see it, though. That's the point. The default is minus distorting atmospheric conditions.
Yeah, this isn't really addressing your question anymore. But that is why. Now, all of the densest part of the atmosphere is going to be at the bottom, right? So then, as the sun, or as the whatever, God, I can't even freaking think. As the sun or the moon get closer, right? So then when they first show up, they're very low on the horizon visually. So you're looking through all that atmosphere at it. And then when it gets closer, the elevation, you know, it gets visually higher. And when it's right over your head or like higher up, you know, the atmosphere gets less dense as you go higher up. So when it's right over your head, you're going to have the absolute least amount of refraction. And then as it gets low again, it will go towards the higher end of refraction, right? Because you'll be going, visually, it'll be behind more droplets in the atmosphere. Thanks for rehashing FE 101. Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. Here's the other thing. Have you ever looked at, let's see, water drop photography? see if I can find some. When they take close-ups of photographs of water drops, especially if you have multiple water drops, whatever is in the background behind the water drop becomes magnified. Look at that. So I wonder if I can find more like this. So something like that. But there's one picture I saw that was really, really cool. I thought I saved it, but I don't know. Here, right here. See how there's a close-up of these water drops? And then inside each of the water drops is the entire scene behind it. Magnified. So for me, when I, like see that stuff, I just imagine all of the suspended water droplets in the air sort of acting like one big lens, like it said in that video from the science guys even, that it acts like a lens and then it magnifies things and brings it closer to you. Which is pretty cool. Like here's a good one. Like so you see the cloud behind here and then inside the water drop it's like all there, all of it. Condensed into one image. It's pretty cool, the way things work. Here's another one. So you'll see like the background there's a sunflower and then each drop has the sunflower inside of it. Which is really cool. 1111. Just an illusion, right? It's all an illusion. Did you see the clip of Greg Locke all on stage with Israeli flags talking about how they should launch a missile? Oh my God, no! Why? I don't understand. Even if you do support Israel, how can anybody be okay with what's going on over there? Like anybody, any human be okay with like the complete collective punishment and murder and straight just horrific acts of just evil going on over there? How could anybody, any Christian, be okay with that on any level? Like, what is wrong with you? Play it? I don't have it. Does somebody have a link? Give me a link.
What they ought to do is evacuate up there on the hill and get a great big missile and blow that wicked dome of the rock plumb off of the spot where it's standing right now so we can get that third temple rebuilt and usher in the coming of Jesus. What they ought to do is evacuate.
Wow. I don't think Jesus would approve of this message, Pastor Locke. I mean, ugh, what a gross person. You're just gross, dude. You people are just gross. Gross! Stop being so gross! Can we stop being gross now? Most are not okay with it anymore. 90% of support from public opinion is for Palestine, like it should be. Yeah. Like, seriously, what are we thinking? Like, I know. I don't know, man. I just don't know. Howdy. Good Moonday, D. Hoopai 1977 on Rumble. I really can't take much more of these a-holes. Yeah, I know. I know. Greg's dissension. I mean, that's just zealotry on about the highest level you can get. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's straight up just zealotry. It's probably just a coincidence that the Philippines have a 7.0 earthquake shortly after announcing the investigation into post-vaccine DEATHs. Having caused the I think it may be capable of having caused the earthquake in Turkey. I'm not sure if I am on board with them being able to trigger giant earthquakes like that yet. I don't know if I'm on board with that, honestly. What do you guys think? Do you think they can trigger earthquakes? Because I'll be honest, I'm not sure if I think that they have that much knowledge and power yet. That's just my opinion. So clearly he's a scumbag all around and not just some super triggered, but yeah. That the Dome of the Rock should be destroyed so that they could usher in the return of Jesus. I mean, that's crazy. That is very culty behavior. This is why, you know, that is not a good look for Christians. You know, that stuff like that is what turns people away from Christianity, you know? Anyway, 848-222-2480. Does anybody want to call in? The Tesla. I know, that's what I always think of as the Tesla earthquake machine. Tesla's oscillator. The Tesla oscillator. Electromechanical oscillator and Tesla's earthquake machine. Nikola Tesla revealed that an earthquake which drew police and ambulances to the region of his laboratory at 48 East Houston Street, New York in 1898 was a result of a little machine he was experimenting with at the time, which you could put in your overcoat pocket. I was experimenting with vibrations. I had one of my machines going and I wanted to see if I could get it in tune with the vibration of the building. I put it up notch after notch. There was a peculiar cracking sound. I asked my assistants, where did the sound come from? They did not know. I put the machine up a few more notches. There was a louder cracking sound. I knew I was approaching the vibration of the steel building. I pushed the machine a little higher. Suddenly, all the heavy machinery in the place was flying around. I grabbed a hammer and broke the machine. The building would have been about our ears in another few minutes. Outside in the street, there was pandemonium. The police and ambulances arrived. I told my assistants to say nothing. We told the police it must have been an earthquake. That's all they ever knew about it. Well, if this is true, then he didn't really make an earthquake. He just had a frequency machine that he was trying to line up with the frequency of the building. When you line up a frequency like that with the frequency of the building, depending on what you're doing, you can disrupt the actual physical makeup of said object. That's not like a unknown thing. It's like the same principle as like when you find those singers and they sing like that super crazy high loud note and then they shatter like a wine glass or whatever. That's the same principle, right? Some shrewd reporter asked Dr. Tesla at this point what he would need to destroy the Empire State Building, and the doctor replied, "Vibration will do anything. It would only be necessary to step up the vibrations of the machine to fit the natural vibration of the building, and the building would come crashing down. That's why soldiers break step crossing a bridge." So, well... So that tells me that it's not an earthquake machine. It's a frequency machine. Or a vibration machine, which sounds kind of dirty, but it's that's that whole like physics of superposition, right? When you get two like frequencies and then the like frequencies amplify and they become more, right? He understood that very well. Last time Brian Stavely went to a church, he broke out in hives. I thought it would have been funny to go and then to walk into the church and go up to Dean and be like, see, I didn't burst into flames. But I guess if he's being nice, I probably shouldn't give that guy shit anymore. Synagogue of Satan. Tesla logged into one of the admin menus. He was a white hat that was lucky he wasn't pulled. What? What are you talking about, Mark? What are you talking about? Anyway, so this to me is not proof of an earthquake machine. It's a proof of a machine that you can use to create a frequency which could supposedly be similar to the frequency of whatever it is you're trying to destroy, and then that's how it works. It's kind of like the same principle between the Rife frequencies. That's what this is. Because like with Rife frequencies, that's what it is. You're figuring out the frequency to whatever it is, you know, that is going on, and you counteract it, right? With a different frequency or a similar frequency or whatever. So, I don't know. So when he was doing that, it shook the building, which could feel like an earthquake, and then they said it was an earthquake, and so now everybody thinks that he had an earthquake machine, but he didn't. That's what I'm getting from this. Simple mechanical oscillator used in first experiments, original reciprocating steam engine, latter filled with coils and magnetic fields to produce currents of precisely constant frequency. Another type of mechanical, electromechanically controlled mechanical oscillator. I don't see earthquakes being caused necessarily by this. Like large-scale earthquakes. Where we're talking about bringing, like, you know, whole cities. It's obvious it was Elon Musk who time-traveled, grew a mustache, and used a Tesla alias. Right. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Karen B, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. It's effed up world.
Oh, hey, what's going on?
My name's Joe. Not too much. You're talking about frequencies, and it reminded me of, I think it was a couple weeks ago. I said something about Elon Musk, like with his rockets going to break the sky open or something. And you were saying that it didn't seem possible for people to like do that. You know, like that we would have, like that people could have an effect on like the world.
Like breaking out of it? I don't think people can break out of
here.
Or
what was that?
Yeah, you're right. I don't think we as humans with whatever technology will ever break outside of the known realm. I just don't see that happening.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I'm calling in. I just wanted to like try to explain my point of view a little bit.
Okay.
On that. And I get it from like the prophets that wrote the scriptures in the book of Enoch and Second Esdras and all these books I've been reading. And it's like, an example is in Enoch 57. He said that he saw men riding on chariots coming on the winds. So they were flying. And he said the noise of their chariots was heard. And when that turmoil took place, like that, when the noise happened, that the foundations of the earth were moved from their place, and the sound was heard from one end of the earth to the other. So it's just like a lot of it has to do with sound, I think, and like like how you could break a glass by singing the right pitch or something like that. That's what I think. That's why I think these rockets are not that they're gonna like punch a hole in the firmament or something, but more rather that they would cause some vibration that does something. But the prophets, like Zechariah, another one, Zechariah 5, this angel shows him something. He says, "What do you see?" And he says, "I see a flying roll or scroll or whatever." And he gives like a size of it, and then the angel says, "This is the curse that goes forth over the face of the whole earth." And I'm like saying to myself, well, that's just low Earth orbit. Like that's what we would call low Earth orbit today. If a prophet saw it, maybe he would have, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he would have said, or whatever. The angel, I guess, would have said, "This is the curse that goes over the face of the whole earth." There's a lot of cases, like in the book of Daniel, he sees a he-goat with a notable horn between his eyes, and it was coming on the face of the whole earth without touching the ground. And I'm like, that's basically what we would call low Earth orbit, like what satellites or satelloons are, what they're doing, or whatever is happening. But yeah, I just wanted to call in and say, try to maybe explain a little bit of my point of view on that. But
that is cool. That's interesting though, because those rockets are really freaking loud. Like disgustingly loud.
Oh yeah,
like it should be melting the people inside of them.
Yeah, I don't get that either, because anybody that's watching the launch, like my dad watched the shuttle take off many years ago, and he said that, he was many miles away, and he said that like his chest cavity, like his torso or whatever, was like the sound was making his whole innards move back and forth like he'd never felt before. And he's like 10 miles away from this shuttle launch. And
wow.
So, yeah. So it's not like I think like that men could necessarily like back at the Tower of Babel, they wanted to build a tower up to heaven or whatever. I don't necessarily think that it's like that, but I think that, the heavens will depart, and like in the Bible, there's many mentions of the stars falling to the earth, and the sun and moon going dark and not giving their light. And I think it was like with the sound of a trumpet or a great noise. And so there's a lot of things that you've actually interested me or enlightened me on, what crystals, like forming crystals, and a lot of that stuff that I hadn't ever really thought about, and it seems to be somewhat connected with these end times prophecies. But yeah, Karen, I love what you're doing. I always have. I've always been listening, and then I like your scripture, or was it anti-scripture? Whatever it is, anti-religious scripture study.
Yeah.
I think it's important to have stuff like that available for people, like me. I mean, I love coming in and being able to just listen to you guys and listen to Jack explain things. So yeah, I think it's great. And yeah, Dean rocked the house, I think, and Greg Locke, I hope he, I don't know, I think he's on the other team.
Yeah, that guy is... I mean, when I saw, like, I played that clip earlier where he's like, I already made up my mind. I ain't looking at this foolishness ever again. It's like, well, you obviously don't care to have a discussion. Like, if that's your attitude before you even get started, you don't care what anybody says or what anybody's going to present. You're just going to deny it and refute it the whole time and then tell everybody to turn the mic off and get out. That's so ridiculous.
Yeah, that's not, first of all, it's not a way to treat someone that you have as a guest at your service or your church or whatever you're putting on, you just don't like that. Doesn't put a good name for Greg or the Globe. I'm sure it's similar to, I think, what happens in the background after Dave Weiss does a podcast with Professor Dave or whatever you'd call it. People could see that there's something wrong with Professor Dave. Mm-hmm. There's something very wrong with Professor Dave, mm-hmm. and he has this point of view that I think people would have a hard time connecting him being right with the way he carries himself. So right. I think that everything is a win for Flat Earth. It really is. I mean, I'm sure there are many people at Greg's church that never really considered this stuff seriously or, really put it in the front of their mind until maybe the debate. And I'm sure many of them lean towards what Dean was talking about. Mm-hmm. Dean had a great presentation. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think it's a win for Flat Earth. Just every time, if there's some negative thing about Flat Earth, somebody will, make a hit piece or something, that's good too. Because it's just like Logan Paul, he made that mockumentary or whatever. Mm-hmm. I wonder how many thousands of people came to believe the truth because of that mockumentary. Probably, it could be, who knows how many. There's a lot, though.
I don't know. I will say that's probably one of the few things that did come out of Flat Earth that I've never had anybody tell me that they saw the Logan Paul video and they brought him to Flat Earth. I'll say that. Nobody's ever told me that.
I haven't either.
But I won't completely discount it. I'm sure it's possible, but nobody's ever told me that.
Yeah, me either. So I'm just, speculating on that. But I have had people, and I know David Weiss has had people mention to him about the Professor Dave thing, where they're like, okay, forget about the flat globe debate. What's wrong with Professor Dave? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, that guy was so rude and so condescending, and David Weiss just kind of put him, in his place, if you ask me. But
David's got a lot of experience talking to condescending globies.
Yeah, David is so entertaining. I watch every one of his, or listen to while I'm working and stuff, every single one of his, his interviews or whatever. And I just say to myself, man, am I ever going to get bored of Dave saying these things over and over? Because I hear him say the same things on, over and over and over again. I'm like, no, I don't get bored of it. I love hearing it.
Yeah. And it's better to, like, the variety of reactions that he gets from the different people that he goes on with too. Yes. It also keeps it interesting. And, they're not debates, they're discussions. So it's not like just somebody saying a bunch of, like, the same stupid old stuff that we hear from all the Globey trolls. So I think that's why it keeps it interesting.
Some of the things that people say that, like, I heard Greg Locke saying, what about an Army sniper? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, that just means you've never looked into this. You've never even thought about it before. Because that whole, like, just every single one of these little, insane things that get said, oh, well, you can see the curvature from an airplane or something like that, or like all these things, or you see a ship going down over the curvature, it's a globe, and you're like, you just haven't thought about it. If you're saying that, you haven't, like what you were just showing about with Rob Skiba. Mm-hmm. That taught us all so much about what we're seeing. But if someone doesn't entertain that, if they just say, this is foolishness, well, they're not going to have the opportunity to understand something they didn't understand before. So,
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, I just wanted to call and say hi, and I don't think I've ever talked to you before. I was at the 2018 in Denver. I went to that one.
Oh, cool.
I met David Weiss there, and I think I saw you there, but I didn't meet you. So
yeah,
but
nobody knew who I was back then.
You're famous now. But no, I appreciate.
I think I'm
what
infamous.
you do and all the people, Mark Sargent and everybody that's doing this stuff. I think it's more important than any of us can comprehend. I really do.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's extremely important. I that's why I'm still here doing it all these years later.
Yep. It's because it's not necessarily like I haven't put out a lot of videos lately just because I've just been more observing everything going on. But it's like if you feel repetitive making videos, if you feel like you're just making a video that you made before and it's got the same content, it's kind of not rewarding to do that. It feels like. So unless I have something to, that I'm learning, like that I haven't thought about before, I don't really feel so much like making videos. But yeah, I think what you guys are doing and have been doing for 7, 8 years, 6 years, I don't know, a long time.
It's been a while.
I think that we're going to learn someday. I mean, this is just my speculation. I think we're going to learn someday that every move we're making right now is the most important moves that we could be making. And they're not all fun. A lot of them suck. And it's like, you only take the stuff that people don't want. That's what you end up saying when you stick your neck out and say something. But I think we're going to find someday, I think we're going to find that is laughable when, like, the negative things that come aren't even existent when truth is being told.
Yeah. Right on. That's awesome.
But I'll let you get back to your show. I appreciate you, Karen.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate you too. Thank you for calling.
All right. Keep it flat.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. Bye.
Bye. So, yeah. Hello, James. Good to see you. Oh, Locke versus Dean, a show slowly bringing forth FE through a reactive psychological optics operation. FE, in my view, obviously a controlled revealing. None of us would be here otherwise. Well, I don't know that it's a controlled revealing. I mean, I guess it could be. I kind of go back and forth with that. I guess it could be considered a controlled revealing because so many people woke up at the same time because of YouTube. And the algorithms sharing, putting flat earth videos in everybody's suggested. I guess it could be considered that. But on the other hand, I also don't think so, because ever since it broke, I feel like they've been scrambling. Like, I feel like they just scrambled to stay ahead of us, of the people who are watching them, the people debunking their nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like ever since it's come out, if they've just been like fighting to get the upper hand back, because really, there's so many people who are into this, and there's so many people questioning it now. We tip the scales on a lot of online polls that you see, where people say, do you think the earth is flat or round? But, whatever. So I don't know. It could be, but I think that nothing is truly controlled ultimately. You're still going to have that small group of people, the free thinkers, the nonconformists, as it were, that I was discussing earlier, which is us. We are the nonconformists, right? We are the ones, there's always going to be some, somebody asking questions. And we've been here the whole time. I showed a lot of stuff in my early days of doing Coffee Talk about these vintage flat earth articles. Maybe I'll make a video that's like a shareable video that shows all the old flat earth articles. I mean, we have been here ever since they started pushing this globe really hard about 100 years ago. I know everybody likes to think it was debunked in the 1500s, but no, it was highly contested as recently as less than 100 years ago. So we've always been here. There's articles going back that I found were talking about flat earthers are like, they was talking about how they would not leave the scientists alone, and the scientists would get annoyed with them because they couldn't answer their questions, you know. And there's a lot of vintage books that were being written around that time when the globe was being pushed, like the Gleasons, is the Bible a globe, or is the earth a globe, is the Bible from heaven? There was that Arabic guy, the Abizaid guy, who wrote like the Enlightenment of the World, which is a flat earth. There's Samuel Rowbotham, Parallax. You know, there was a group of people back in that time who were fighting against the globe. Like we see the evidence of what they were trying to do, and so we're just carrying that torch, you know. So whatever. Are you going to post a Flattoberfest presentation somewhere? Stephanie? All right, I'm going to have to take a break. I'm going to take a break and I will discuss that. I did talk about that a little bit on my members stream, but let me just take a little break. I'll be right back and I will share with you what's going on with the presentations. All right, I'm back. Are you still with me? Coffee. Recordings did not turn out well. Don't make her cry. I think I already shed those tears. But yeah, the video, I was going through it and I was trying to figure out if there was any way I could, make something from it, but is no good. It's like extremely, Here, I'll show you. I think most of these are...
I've learned that some of the quote-unquote smartest, most intelligent people...
Here's Greg Reese.
...won't do their own science. And I would argue the definition of science is that it should be repeatable. If it's legit, you should be able to repeat the experiments and get the same results. And so if you're going to believe in something, a scientific model or a scientific theory, then you really should, in my opinion, figure it out for yourself. Work it out for yourself. Otherwise, you're just believing some
This is probably some of the best video right here. This few seconds. Will it last?
So what makes a good scientific model, we'll look at the screen here, is it's based on reliable observations. That, to me, is the most important. And when you look at the heliocentric model, for example, that was the main thing for me, and I think that's all you need to focus on is there's no observable curvature. Curiosity, because like I said, I spent my whole life...
So that's kind of like, here's Amanda.
I, have cancer. Help me. But what would happen if you realized that you actually had the power already inside yourself to heal from any of those things? And it wasn't that difficult. So what I decided to do was create Yummy.Doctor, which I am creating courses and classes and these sorts of things, helping people cleanse, helping people get back in balance. But really...
I personally have a hard time even watching it to edit it. So I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know. So who gets the $30,000? What an arrogant ass to offer up church's money like that. I know. Nobody's getting $30,000 because do you think that guy's really going to fork over $30K? Hell no. Hell no. Till the end. Yes, Amanda is awesome. Yeah, so I don't know. I could try to go through it and salvage some stuff, but like the sound. Here's Mark.
We were spreading so fast. Remember, YouTube promoted this for 3 years.
And it's not even complete.
So in her case, it's probably going to be some weird abstract thing. I mean, no offense, I know we're talking, it's just you and me talking. But is she pretty bright? I mean, do you think she's?
And this is the end.
She says the smarty.
This is when Tyler's there doing his thing. But what about before that? Is there any other? They're not in order. Well, here's this one. These are Mark Devlin.
We don't think masks are necessary either. We think things should be done this way. Or some nations might say, well, we don't think this is a threat at all. We don't see any evidence that this is harming people in any way. But what we did see was all the governments of the world coming together in tandem, in lockstep, if you like, implementing the exact same measures at the exact same time. And it's not as if there was any shortage of pre-preparation for this one either. When it comes to movies, TV shows, also music videos, we have, again, as with 9/11, an endless selection of examples. Now, we don't think...
Like, you can only see Mark for the first, 2 seconds of that video. It just...
We're replacing the truth in plain sight, and that ties into, as we see a young Michael Jackson doing.
See what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't...
And
what's happening here?
When it comes to what may or may not have happened to Michael Jackson himself, and whether he really checked out on the 25th of June 2000.
And if you... I can't really use audio because they're not complete. So, I can't even extract audio and then put the presentation in order from beginning to end. First of all, because they're not in order. I can't tell what's the beginning and what's the middle, right? Because I didn't watch everything myself because I'm busy running the event. So, I just don't even know what to do. See better footage of Bigfoot. We have static footage of full speeches. Well, Lowry, why don't I have it? Why don't I have it? I have this crap that I don't even know what to do with it. Why don't I have the static footage of all the speeches? That's like what I want. Give it to me. Is there something better than this? Because I'd like to have it. Because this, I don't even know what to do with this stuff. This is rehearsal. That's a 4-second video. Who takes video for 4 seconds? This is what I'm saying, dude. I love you guys, but this video sucks. Well, where is it? Where's the static camera? I don't have that. Please send it to me. All right, that's it. That's enough of that. Can I have the static footage? Because that's like what I want. I don't want this stuff because I can't do anything with it. Anyway, since I have you all here, I haven't really talked about it today, but if you see there above my call-in number, it says Pocket Cinema Camera and Equipment for Filming. I have decided that I'm going to go forward and I'm going to purchase a high-end video filming setup. I already know what I want. I already think I can get it for about between $4,000, maybe $4,500. I'm putting forward more than half of that, okay, of my own money. And so my goal there is already 50% filled. So if anybody wants to donate money so that I can buy a high-end video camera so I can always have it to have high-end quality footage of every single event and every single presentation, that's what I really want to do. The other thing I want to do with this equipment when I get it is I want to produce, separate from the events, I want to produce other high-end quality videos about and for flat earth, stuff that is professional looking, can be shared to a audience, a G-rated G audience for everybody, right? And so that's what I want to do. I'm highly motivated to do it. I am dedicated. I've already been buying some of the equipment. So if anybody wants to help me achieve that goal, you can click on that Ko-Fi link and $5 here, $10 there. That's what I want. Well, you can fill a trash with it. So there's my Ko-Fi link if anybody wants to help me. No, I don't want a 360 cam. I want a 6K. I want to get a high-end video camera. One that where it costs a bunch of money just to buy the body of it, and then I also need to purchase lenses and tripods and all kinds of equipment to go with it, hard drives, microphones. Like seriously, a legit. A serious setup. I want to take serious videos, one that I can actually take with me and go on location and go different places and film high-end professional quality video for and about flat earth. That's what I want. And I want to be able to document every single presentation properly at the event. I want to always have a copy that I can hand over to the presenter. Like, in the past, I've been able to do that. So I want to be able to hand over a high quality recording of this person giving their presentation in front of an audience, because these are really good things that these people do. They make great presentations. They put effort into it. They fly to the location. So I just want to be able to do that. So I'm working on it. Drone footage. Yeah. Well, a 360 camera doesn't do what I want it to do. Where's the best place to find the debate and download? Which debate? This one? I don't know if you can download it from their website, but they still have it on their church website, because this is how I'm watching it. So I don't know. You could probably record it, OBS, if you wanted to like just set it up and then walk away. Tons of work, but perhaps written transcripts and a pro reader reading it while the video shows relevant material. Hi, Dave Hinkle. Well, there you go. Brian downloaded the FB feed the church has. Pretty good quality. Is it still on Facebook? Global Vision Church. Oh, that's a group. Not groups. Pages. Here we go. Global Vision Bible Church. Videos. I don't see it. I think they took it down off of here. Is this Sunday? Is this the day after? Yeah, it looks like they don't have it on here anymore. Let's see. Nope. Nope, it's not on Facebook. Denodal Ministries. Let's see. Oh yeah. There you go. If you want good audio, go to Pastor Locke's Facebook, except he deleted it. How bad's the audio on this?
Tonight, amen. I'm honored that you're here. We even have people outside that aren't happy to be here. Not sure why they showed up, but they're here nonetheless.
Oh, yeah, it's hard to. That's like audio like I just had. Jaren has it. I'm sure somebody's got it. Does that mean I'm doing Flattoberfest 2024? Well, yes. I've already started trying to figure out where I might do it. I don't know where I'm going to do it. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I guess I'm not 100% sure yet. But I do want to, I'm more focused on trying to get going with this, get this equipment. Cause like, it's like anything that you do, any sort of craft that you get into, you need the right tools to do the job. Unfortunately for video, the right tools to do the job are very expensive. Like the investment is very expensive, but what you can do with that stuff once you get it. It's like you then have the right tool to be very prolific and start putting out really good high-end content. So like it's worth the investment. It's just a lot. But I would like to I would like to do another event, but I also am not going to be excited about doing another event if I don't feel confident that I have, that I'm going to be able to have it documented and recorded and filmed completely like I wanted to do. Because I kind of feel bad that I don't have video from this event that I can share. Do you know how many people are asking me about video from the event? A lot of people. So if there's a static camera that has all the presentations recorded, give it to me, please. So anyway, that's it. Thought Austin played it. It's probably on Jaren's channel. There, his stream is like 9 hours long, but here. Let's see what his audio's like.
And every night I can walk out at my house.
There, yeah, see, he's got a good audio.
And Orion's belt will come up in the same place every night. Now, if we're flying, spiraling, spinning through an ever-expanding universe, then the stars.
Yeah, so it starts at around like an hour and 50 minutes.
And the only way to keep us from going back
On Jaren's channel,
over and over again
on his
and
video.
making things boring and mundane is to split it up that way. All right. So again, we're not.
What weapon are you talking about?
So there you go. You can watch it on Jaren's channel. That's good. That's good video of it. I wouldn't think most people would even know what quality video is. I say that because I don't know or see any difference in videos unless they're really terrible. Well, my friend, did you see the video I was just playing? It's hard to even watch. He might have had buffering, but afterplay shouldn't buffer. Let's see.
The invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen instead of trusting God's word. Let me tell you, this world is full of lies, folks. I believe they.
Finally, the element.
Believe for many
Oh no,
years
seems
was a
okay
thing
to
called
me.
the canopy theory. Dr. Carl Ball taught it, and others taught it, where they said that
Oh look, here we go. Oh, look at that. He's talking about the vapor canopy. I didn't know he did that.
And then you also had rain. Anybody that says it was just rain is
Let's
not
see what he
being honest
says.
with the
I'm
scriptures.
curious what he says
In
about
fact,
vapor
we had
canopy.
3 sources of water at the flood. What Christians believed for many years was a thing called the canopy theory. Dr. Carl Ball taught it and others taught it, where they said that the firmament was a vapor canopy that was around the earth that condensed and then flooded the earth, and thus doing away with the firmament. The problem with that is the Bible proves that wrong, that the firmament collapsed as a canopy, because 1,350 years after the flood, the Holy Spirit moved on David to say, "Praise him, ye heavens, and ye waters that be above the heaven. Let them praise his name, or praise the name of the Lord, for he commanded, and they were created. He hath established them forever and ever. He hath made a decree which shall not pass." So anybody that says that the firmament or this was condensed vapor canopy that disappeared is not true.
Huh. So they think that the firmament is a condensed vapor canopy. That's so weird. Who brought about this vapor canopy stuff? Now I'm gonna search up vapor canopy. Where'd this come from? Oh, look at this drawing. Oh, isn't that cute? Creation, evolution. Oh, they're ball earth. Earth's plea-flood vapor canopy. Was this where it came from? Oh, I'm on images. Hold on. Lutheran science. In 1874, a Quaker schoolteacher by the name of Isaac Vail proposed a novel scientific idea that following the last ice age, a canopy of ice clouds covered the earth for thousands of years. This canopy theory was picked up and refined within the last few decades by modern creation scientists who saw in it possible answers to some puzzlements mentioned in the first few chapters of Genesis, as well as some discoveries by scientists about the early Earth. But more recently, the idea of a canopy of water vapor, or ice around the primeval Earth is being seriously questioned by some creationists who think they found major flaws in the theory. Why the water canopy theory became popular. As proposed years ago by its defenders, the water vapor canopy theory was a neat idea that addressed several issues raised in scripture and in science concerning the early Earth. These arguments, most of which were popularized in the creationist classic, The Genesis Flood, by Whitcomb and Morris, were enumerated by astronomer Donald B. DeYoung as follows. The initial separation of water above and below the firmament or expanse sky atmosphere may refer to the creation of a water canopy. The canopy, if it existed, would have to be transparent for the sun and especially the moon and stars to provide light as to serve as markers. Water vapor is, of course, transparent. Well, I don't know about that, because you can't see through the clouds. Because I'm sitting here thinking like a water vapor canopy, that tells me clouds. They call it icy clouds. And do you think it's pure water up there? No, there's other stuff up there too. So it's not just pure water. It's not going to be perfectly clear. I don't understand how you can even think that would be the case when you can't see through even a lightly cloudy sky. Genesis 2, 5, and 6 indicates that at least prior to the creation of Adam, rain did not fall, but that the plants were nourished by springs coming up out of the ground. The Bible does not actually mention rain until the flood, and a canopy, by providing a greenhouse effect, would have lessened the need for a water cycle. If Noah was the first person to see a rainbow, which God's promise to him seems to imply but doesn't absolutely prove, that would add further strength to the canopy theory. I disagree. Genesis 7, 11, and 12 tells us it rained for 40 days and nights. Such a lengthy deluge would be impossible today because there isn't nearly enough moisture in the present atmosphere. Therefore, there had to be much more water in the heavens of Noah's time. See, this is globalist thinking. These people are thinking in global terms. Many ancient cultures have legends that seem to describe a canopy-type phenomenon. For example, Babylonian creation account, Enuma Elish, mentions fog, clouds, or mist covering the early Earth. Such fossils as palm trees in Alaska and crocodiles in New Jersey and petrified wood in the desert suggest a warmer climate in the past and perhaps a more uniform worldwide climate which a canopy might have provided. Although Genesis mentions seasons in a relation to the creation of the heavenly bodies, seasonal heat or cold as such are not mentioned in Scripture until after the flood. A canopy might have provided an increased atmospheric pressure, heavier air, in other words, that would have allowed the prehistoric flying reptiles such as pterodon to have taken flight. It is doubtful that these creatures would be able to fly in today's thinner atmosphere. See, these guys are like trying to explain their globe model with Bible with Bible stuff, right? A canopy might be the answer to long ages of the early humans, as well as the gigantism found in some plants and animals in the fossil record. The canopy would have absorbed much of the harmful radiation that is known to have damaging effects on organisms. With less radiation reaching the surface of the earth, living things could have lived much longer and, in the case of some species, grown to giant sizes. Also, increased air pressure and or oxygen, according to some studies, has been found to be beneficial. The case against the water vapor theory. Are you guys into this? I'm totally into this. It sounds retarded. Yeah. Yeah, like the sun rays coming through when it's 90 million plus miles away. We are sorting out now why you aren't seeing the static video. It's suddenly not on my Dropbox anymore. If nothing else, we got static video with decent audio. Also, Nathan, board recording audio. Where's the board recording audio? Why don't I have this stuff? Give it to me. Give it to me. Now. Now. I've been crying for like 3 weeks. Please give it to me. They try to explain away the errors in their story. Right. Alright, case against the water vapor theory. So that was supposed to be in favor of the water vapor theory, and I don't think it was very good in favor of the water vapor theory. Okay, so here's the case against it. As the water vapor theory increased in popularity among creationists, creation scientists began putting it to the test and found several problems with it. A website called creationscience.com, which appears to be associated with Dr. Walter Brown, lists several of these objections. 1. The pressure problem. A canopy holding 40 or more feet of liquid water or its equivalent in vapor or ice would increase the atmospheric pressure all right, but this would make the increased oxygen and nitrogen toxic to many animals, including humans. Most canopy theories now limit the thickness of water in the canopy to less than 40 feet. Because, yeah, think about this. So if the pressure is increased or was increased on the plane, think about what happens when divers go down deep. They get diver sickness, and that's because the increased pressure makes the gases they're breathing toxic, because we're not designed to exist at those pressures. We're designed to exist at 14.7 psi on the, you know what I'm saying? Like where we're at, that's where we're supposed to be. So 2, the heat problem. If the water from a vapor canopy were to fall enough to form a 40-foot layer upon the Earth, the temperature would rise about 810 degrees. Just as a spacecraft generates tremendous heat upon re-entering the atmosphere, molecules of water or ice falling from orbit would do the same. Also, due to the greenhouse effect, heat would be trapped under a canopy, more water would evaporate, and the greenhouse effect would accelerate it, thus leading to a runaway greenhouse effect. This runaway greenhouse effect can be seen on the cloud-covered planet Venus, which is about 700 degrees hotter than one would expect for a planet. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so much flawed logic because these people think they live on a globe. That was a soundbite for sure. What did I say? What? When I was saying give it to me? Greenhouse effect? Okay. Then there's the light problem. A canopy having only 40 feet of water would reflect, refract, absorb, or scatter most light trying to pass through it. Under such conditions, a person could only see stars if he looked straight up as through a keyhole, yet it would seem necessary for early man to have seen entire constellations and note their movements from season to season if the stars were to serve as markers. This was my biggest problem with the vapor canopy thing. If there's a vapor canopy, you're not going to see through it. I mean, try looking through 40 feet of water. I mean, 40 feet of water? Let's see. I'm not sure. I forget what the depth is where you're like midnight zone. Like that's still, you're still seeing daylight, but things are getting fuzzy. All right. The nucleation problem. To form raindrops, microscopic particles called condensation nuclei must be present for condensation to occur. However, falling rain tends to sweep away these nuclei, clean the atmosphere, and reduce further condensation. This argument says that rainfall from a canopy could not long be maintained. The support problem. What kept the canopy from falling? A vapor or liquid canopy would mix with the atmosphere just as steam does and diffuse throughout the atmosphere. An ice canopy would vaporize into the vacuum of space, just as dry ice does at atmospheric temperature and pressure. Oh, but our atmosphere won't, right? but our atmosphere won't vaporize into the vacuum of space. Do you see? This is why I feel like this is what the vapor canopy thing is a bunch of BS. Ultraviolet light problem. While ozone in the Earth's atmosphere blocks the sun's destructive ultraviolet light, a canopy surrounding the atmosphere would be exposed. Water in the canopy would dissociate into hydrogen and oxygen, destroying the canopy. So they're putting a bunch of reasons why they think it just would never even work. I mean, layers of atmosphere live no longer on average than people living at high altitudes. Why did Noah live another 349 years after the flood if the protective canopy was gone? Also, too much oxygen has been found to be harmful. Currently, we hear a lot about the health benefits of antioxidants. An alternate explanation for long lifespans is found in genetics rather than the climate. Yeah, oxygen can be harmful. Why don't you guys, I don't know if any of, for those of you who were there, maybe might have heard, like, when we were in Vegas, I think Amanda Vollmer and her husband went to an oxygen bar and he got too much oxygen and he did not feel good. She was like, she needed us to go into the room and like get some of her, you know, into the main room to get some of her stuff from her table so she could, you know, help him out. So, you know, people, you know, making all these assumptions, oh, there was more oxygen, so people got bigger, it just made it better. Like, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. And it's just funny how people just think, oh, automatically more is better. No, more is not always better. There is a delicate balance in this realm. And this is why, you know, I don't think that there were ever those Titan-sized trees, because the realm doesn't support it. It just doesn't support it. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. So many assumptions. I actually had 100-foot visibility while diving in the Queen Charlotte Islands. Cold but very clear water. Right, yeah, if it's really cold, it'll be more clear. But even that's not a guarantee. I mean, you see some of those videos of like the Arctic where it's like all silty and muddy and down there. Anyway. What do you guys think about the vapor canopy? Is that a thing or what? Current air is 80-20 nitrogen oxygen. When you get over 40%, it becomes toxic. Yeah. Outer spaces where the land is that we ain't allowed to know about. How many presuppositions can one? I know. It's ridiculous, right? And like this whole vapor canopy thing is like one of the big talking points for that archaics dude. And when I heard him talking about it, I was like, what? Like what? I don't know. You know, people like that stuff. It just, for whatever reason, computer modeling of a vapor canopy. I think the vapor canopy, it sounds like globe-believing Christians making it up to explain the flood, the deluge of the flood, the opening of the firmament. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. It's globalist Christians trying to explain the flood. The theory that there was a water vapor canopy surrounding the early Earth was prominently presented by Isaac Vail in 1912 in the book The Canopy and Longevity of Life. A few years later, George McCready Price also championed the idea of the canopy theory. The anti-evolutionist apologist Harry Rimmer embraced the canopy in his 1936 work The Harmony of Science and Scripture, stating that the Earth was surrounded by a protecting lens of ice that made the whole world an Eden of tropical splendor, but the canopy was widely popularized when featured in the 1961 landmark work of Whitcomb and Morris, The Genesis Flood. Morris cited scriptures like 2 Peter 3:5-6 to argue that the Bible answer for uniformitarian skeptics was the conditions of the early Earth and the flood. The primeval Earth was standing out of the water, and in the water, the vapor canopy. The theory reached a high point when the rigorous work of Joseph Dillow, The Waters Above, Earth's Pre-Flood Vapor Canopy, Thereafter, a number of leading creationists became skeptical of the theory. Typically, the work of Larry Vardaman is cited as evidence that the vapor canopy model is untenable. Dr. Vardaman, a climatologist working at the Institute of Creation Research, did extensive computer modeling to determine the impact of a vapor canopy on Earth's climate. He discovered that a canopy, while technically sustainable, would be too effective as a thermal blanket. A canopy that contributed significantly to the floodwaters would cause a runaway greenhouse effect and make the surface of the Earth extremely hot. Genesis Park commissioned Dr. Vardaman to revisit the topic of the vapor canopy in 2012. The goal was to utilize up-to-date simulations, try a canopy higher above the Earth where it doesn't have to maintain an energy balance with the lower atmosphere, explore the transfer of heat from the ocean to polar regions and the emissions of energy to space, and increase the albedo at the top of the atmosphere by adding daytime clouds to the model. Albedo is the fraction of the incident sunlight that is reflected back into space. The possible impact of the Van Allen belts was also considered in the study. So they're like, Van Allen, like, come on. Oof, you think these guys are ever going to get to the truth by going at it from this point of view? You're right, only had that rare visibility once. Only a physical barrier can separate pressurized gases and vacuum. Karen Lewis. Karen B. Love is like oxygen. You get too much, you get too high, not enough, and you're going to die. That makes sense. How are they creating new nitrogen? I don't know, Mark. How are they? Vacuum destroys this retarded story. Yes. Is Santos Bonacci a good teacher or not? Oof. Well, I think he was, at one time, a good teacher. If you want to look at some of his stuff like astrotheology, I would highly suggest just going back and watching old videos, his old videos of presentations. That's just... It's so funny that you bring him up because this morning I woke up, like I said, I was up at like 4 a.m. and I was looking, laying in bed, looking on my phone, looking at what people are talking about, seeing like what maybe I could bring up for coffee talk, sort of thing. And so I see this alert that he's live and I go and I click on it. Dude, I couldn't believe what he was saying. I could not believe what he was saying. He was like bragging about stabbing some dude to death. Seriously, I wonder if it's still on his video. I wonder if he, hold on. Oh, wait, no, that's not where I want to be.
Waters that be above the heaven.
I need to go to find my history. View your channel. There we go. History. I wonder if it's still there. Oh, I don't see it in my watch history. Let me see. Oh yeah, this is it. It is still there. It is still there. What was he saying? You can watch it. You want to watch it?
Hello.
I was only watching like the very beginning of it and I was like, what is he saying, dude?
Fucking beautiful. There's sexy women looking at me right now. There are fucking dumb cunts that are fucking stone, motherless, ugly like Toon that are watching me right now. I'm sure Michael Toon's got his hand on his dick right now and he's... You're all watching me right now. Hello, pork-faced Michael Toon. God, you're a fucking ugly cunt. Oh, yeah. Professor Dave. Oh, fucking hell. How fucking stupid You fucking gotta look. Simon Dan, fucking Mark Passio, Graham Hancock, all fucking playing with their fucking dicks. Give them the show that they'll never forget, because no one watches you more than the people who fucking hate your guts. And you know who hates my guts? Demons and fucking degenerate cunts who worship demons. Everyone who's got a loving heart and is intelligent, and all the stupid fucking bum-eating motherfuckers, they're still bums, because they're still eating their fucking bacon. And they'll always be a fucking bum. Oh, Jesus. When you're the best, you just fucking know you're the best.
This is what he was
everyone's
saying.
attention, so I might as well use my platform while they're still up to slay all the fucking demons that are left. Rest assured, Cullen Smith will be fucking pulp one day.
Right here, watch.
When I visit him. Oh, rest assured, if I see that fucking motherfucking cunt, I'll pull my knife out. Perhaps I'll do what I did to fucking Stephen Durkee. He came to kill me, and he was stone motherless fucking dead in 10 fucking minutes. It's good to know that everyone's watching me.
So yeah, he's basically bragging about killing somebody and laughing about it. And you know what? Even if it was self-defense, why would you talk like that about it? Why would you do that? Like it's a joke. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you don't need any teachers. Everyone can examine and discern for themselves. But if you want to, I would say, this is why I would say go ahead and watch his old videos. Because this is kind of like how he talks all the time now. And I don't get it. Like, it's just hard to listen to for me. It's hard to listen to for me. I know. So anyway, that's what's going on. And then he starts bragging about like having sex with all these women. Let me see if I can bring that part up too.
Oh God.
It's terrible.
It's just fucking beautiful. There's sexy women looking at me right now. There are fucking dumb cunts that are fucking stone, motherless, ugly like Toon that are watching me right now. I'm sure Michael Toon's got his hand on his dick right now and he's just about to explode an ejaculation all over the screen, looking at me, wishing that he could be fucking a billionth of as intelligent and sexy as me. Yeah, but you've been condemned to fucking brutal ugliness, Michael.
I mean, it's funny what he says about McToon, I will say
in
that.
Past lives, but God sure fucking made you pay for it in this fucking life. Because with a fucking ugly fucking face and a big bum and a fucking big gut that you fucking got there. Vibrator. That's about it. Mm-hmm. Got your attention, have I, Mike? You fat fucking dumb pig. Everyone's all over the world who know and praise my name and watch my videos. I'm giving them the show of their fucking life.
Rule number 65.
Yeah, I don't know. I might have skipped it, but in this video, you could watch it for yourself. He's like bragging. He's sitting there talking about how there's all these women lined up to, he's like, I can have sex whenever I want. I just have to ask for it. And I could show you, but I don't want to embarrass the women. It's like, come on, dude. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, why even say that? Who cares? Like, who cares if you do have a harem of sluts surrounding you, waiting to just, waiting for you to have their way with them? Like, who cares? What does that have to do with flat Earth? Nothing. What does it have to do with anything? Like, it's not a good look. I almost want to, I don't know. It's rough, man. It's rough. I don't know how anybody watches that. The darkness is sticking to him, right, Kyle? Results of a long-term vegan diet. Detoxed his brain away. You know what, Thunder Chicken? I can't disagree. He's letting trolls get to him. Yeah. So anyway, like I said, he has good work. Go into the archives, go look at his old videos, his old presentations that he did on syncretism. And you'll see that he does have some stuff that's worth watching. You know, I can't take that away from him, but as far as like his whole energy now, man, I was watching that like first thing this morning and I was like, what is this? This is I don't know, man. Never got it. Yeah. All men with a hand can have sex whenever we want. Same for women. Like, who cares about all that stuff? Yeah, about this, like, syncretism and the zodiac and stuff. It's cool. You know, he does have some interesting stuff to learn about and stuff, but, you know, I don't know that Dubé ever got over it, though, because clearly he's still at odds with all of us. Because there's so many people who reached out to him. They're like, can we just talk about this? Like, why do we have to be enemies? And he just doesn't want anything to do with us. You know, he wants to be the special boy. So whatever, let him be the special boy. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Queen B, how are you?
Hey, what's up, Law?
Had a good time this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we missed Spicy Sarah.
Yes.
But we had a great time. Had about a dozen of us, right? Meeting up.
Yeah, I don't remember. I would have to look at the picture again.
Yeah. I just wanted to call in just to ask again from the people in chats and in the community, just give some prayers out and some healing vibes for my brother Tom Dixon. He's going through a hard time with his cancer right now.
Yes.
I need to go see him. I couldn't make it this weekend. I was helping my brother in Spartanburg painting ceiling, and my son had a soccer tournament this past weekend. So I think Alex is going to come and stay with me for a day or two and help me work on one of my cars. So
cool.
Critical Inception, Alex. But yeah, we missed Jack, so he couldn't make. He came by to say hello. That was great of him. He was a little bit under the weather, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, but Cammie was gracious enough to host the meetup at her house afterwards. But anyway, just wanted to shout out everyone in chat. I wanted to talk a little bit more about that Greg Locke and Dean Odell thing again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I thought it went as planned for both. Dean Odell got his message across to, I think the audience was mostly flat earthers, right?
I think it was about half. I know there was a fair amount of flat earthers there because at one point that guy, Greg Locke, was saying that we all believed that the earth was accelerating upwards, and there was a whole crowd of people in there. You could hear him going, no! So.
Yeah, a small crowd can make a lot of noise too, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Locke got what he wanted. He wanted to kind of get rid of all the flat earthers or the weak-minded people from his church, and I think he did that very well on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And he also got, the I guess the closed-minded, the strong-minded in his opinion about, the globe lie, the globetards. He probably got more of those at his church now, and the militant people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a win-win. And plus, he probably pocketed several $1,000s of that fundraiser that he was making, trying to reach that $30,000 mark, right?
Was he doing a fundraiser for that 30,000? For what?
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
To give to Odo if he convinced him of the Bible verses. That was the very first thing he said in one of his rants prior to this. He wanted to get his congregation to raise $30,000 to go against Dean Odell. That right there, that's a scam artist right there.
Mm-hmm.
A true scammer. To raise money for a cause, but never giving it out and pocketing it. That's a scammer.
Yeah.
And that's all he is. We talked about it on Discord last night for like a couple of hours. We had a bunch of us on there. And, we all came to agree that Dean did a pretty good job, even though I do not like the guy. He is just as pompous, in my opinion, as Locke. But he did keep his composure for the most part. His arguments seemed like a sermon. We all watched it at the house, and we kind of got, we drifted off, right?
Yeah.
On
Started
Saturday.
playing ping pong.
we were playing the Pong.
Mm-hmm.
And also, congratulations to Jimmy and Tiffany. They just had a baby, and they came out to the meetup. The baby was 22
Jimmy,
days
thank you.
old, and
I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah, Jimmy and Tiffany. Yeah. Yeah, Jimmy and Tiffany, they just had a baby, 21, well, now it's been 24 days ago.
Yeah, brand new baby.
They brought the baby out, a good little thing. Yeah, little JC, that's his initials. But he looks a lot like me, with the slanted eyes and everything. So I want to shout out to them. I want to shout out to them for coming out. It was bad weather, but they made it out from all the way from Greenville. I always keep them in the loop whenever we have meetups and things like that. And I was hoping we'd get a lot of people out there, but it was fine. It was very fun, very, very friendly. Just a dozen or so of us.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And also, and also, Tommy is gonna, start doing something here in the near future. I'll keep you posted on that, Karen. Okay.
Okay.
All right, and just want to shout out the Kakalaki crew and everyone in it, and everyone in chat. Great talking to you guys. You guys have a good day, okay?
All right, thanks, Law.
Okay, later, Queen.
Bye. So, yep. On Rockfin, Shane for real, $5 tip. Thank you for the tip. There is a video yesterday of Bohemian Grove being infiltrated by a train jumper. The channel is called Dancer. Is that on YouTube or is it on Rockfin? Shane for real. Well, Chuck, I thought that there was a static camera. Like Lowry said, there was supposed to be a static camera recording all the presentations, but I don't have that video, so I need that. Give it to me. So I guess I will hold out hope that there is some salvageable video of the presentations that can be shared. As of yet, I've not seen it. You know how to reach me, Lowry? Give it to me. That's what I want. Yeah, and also shout out and prayers and healing energy to Tom Dixon, and also Art Gorelli, and there's other people that I know that are suffering from cancer, and just pray for them, y'all. Wrap them in the white healing light. That's what we need to do. You didn't even say please. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with your power over there, Cammy. That's weird. There's not even any bad weather. So I wonder what happened. Wonder if somebody crashed into some equipment or something. Sonoluminescence explains the stars. You know, I gotta wonder if everything, you know how they say everything is light? The light, that everything's a light spectrum? What if it's not light? What if it's sound? What if sound is the real, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that light turns into matter, it's that sound. I don't know. I'm starting to think more and more that sound is playing the bigger role in this realm than light. That's just my opinion. I may change that at some point, but that's what it seems to me, that sound is playing the dominant role in how this realm works over light. Light being a byproduct of sound. Could you please send me those videos? What videos? Oh, is that what you're saying I should do? Could you please send me those videos? Well, you know, I don't want to get into it, but it's my event. Better give me them damn videos. I'm going to choke you out next time I see you. That's all I got to say about that. We don't usually have issues like those around us because our lines are buried. Have a good day, Karen B. Love your show. Peace. Thank you, Redondo Rocket. Cheers and see you later. Yeah, I would like to maybe have a sort of roundtable even about that with some of our people and see if, like, you know, and just talk through that and see what we come up with and what we can learn. Okay. All right, so that's good. I'm still going to get my own equipment though. I'm still going to get a camera because I have a lot of projects that I want to do. I have things that I need to do. I need to create. I'm feeling very frustrated creatively here. You know, like I do these live streams and they're cool and all to hang out and talk, but I don't really feel like it's not satisfying my soul. It is not getting the message across as good and coherently and as you know, as well as I would like to. So this is me trying to grow and become better and take things to the next level, right? Like Rob Skiba. Oh, that reminds me, I got to go do the Rob Skiba thing from 2019. Still, you know, him and his seed project that he was working on, he wanted to, you know, bring flat earth and truth up to the level that all the lies, you know what I'm saying? Like have the production level for flat earth and truth be on par and compatible and in competition with the material and production value of things that push lies are produced with. Does that make sense? Like the general public is more used to seeing well-produced, high-quality things put forth, and then they take that seriously. They will more likely to believe that just because it is presented in a more professional manner. So I feel that what we need to do is be presenting Flat Earth in a more professional manner. So that is what I am working towards, producing high-end professional looking video that can be shared across a much wider audience, something that can be archived, something that can be kept and shared for years, and that will keep flat earth and what we're doing here from being scrubbed from the internet, relegated to being shadow banned by the algorithms. You know, I want to get outside of that reach, right? And so what we need to do is start producing real, professional, high quality content that is compatible with the quality of content that is produced to push lies, but instead to push truth. So that is what I am working for, and I hope that you know, that you guys will find value in that. So that's what I'm working for. I'm putting my own money, my own time. I just, you know, it's very expensive. So if anybody can spare $5 here, $10 there, click the Ko-Fi link, and all that money, like, I get all of it. It doesn't go to YouTube. It doesn't go to Rockfin. It doesn't go to anybody. It goes directly to me. And then I can then take that money directly and invest it into this, back into the community, into the tools that we need to really bring this up to the next level. That's what I'm here for. The liars have money to waste, right? I don't have money to waste. Sound as we know it describes more workings of the realm, whereas light is a byproduct of that, and essentially the same thing on a different level. That's what I'm thinking. Wouldn't it all be vibration or oscillation, where Tesla said something about frequency, vibration, and light? Frequency, vibration, and energy, right? I don't even think he says light. God spoke everything into existence. Him speaking creates us here. His voice vibrates everything through frequency to produce matter, which we consider a physical reality. So in reality, physical is not. Yeah. That's just it. Light is produced by sound. That's what I'm saying. I think sound is playing the majority role here in the universe besides light, right? Like they put everything on the light spectrum. Well, maybe it's the sound spectrum and not the light spectrum. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I could be completely full of shit. Light is a higher octave of sound. That's what I'm saying. And then when I watched that, like I said, I love that video with Marcel Vogel, and he's talking about when he started growing crystals and he discovered that he could apply a sound frequency to the solution, to the super saturated crystalline solution to which he was, that he wanted to grow crystals from. And when he applied the sound, the crystal grew in a absolute perfect formation. So, you know, it's very fascinating. Interesting to think about. All right, you guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up. It is almost 1 o'clock. And I'm just going to get to work on various things around the house, things that have to do with this and stuff. And so, anyway, I do appreciate you all spending your Moonday morning here with me here on Coffee Talk. Yeah. YouTube. Oh, on YouTube, Rockfin is so glitchy, had to force stop it. Oh, yeah, Rockfin is glitchy. You would think that those who actually support the Bible wouldn't try to explain it away. Yeah, I know. Oh, it sucks. All right, you guys, yeah, have a wonderful day. Oh, don't forget to, let's see. So tomorrow I'll be back here at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific with Mark Sargent for another edition of Strange World. And then Wednesday, I'm going to be on the Jeranism channel doing a debate over Meltology with some guy called Sacred Knowledge. That should be a hoot. So I will see you guys then. Also then Thursday for Glowbusters Tech on the Glowbusters channel. I guess I'm a busy woman this week. So anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Cheers. Thanks. And for those who wish to send me stuff through snail mail, you can send it to P.O. Box 10, Earl, North Carolina, 28038. There are also links below for Flat Earth merch, and you can send me donations, and I do appreciate all the support. Sincerely, thank you very much. Also, please go to flatearthfestivals.com for all information about upcoming Flattoberfests and Flat Earth-friendly local meetups. If you are organizing a local Flat Earth meetup, email me at flatearthfestivals@protonmail.com with your meetup information to have it listed on the website for free. For everything else, you can email me at karenbfe@protonmail.com. Thank you for being here.